It's working. You've got K raising down there. It's changed now.
Yeah,
Yep.
I already did that. I just did that. All right. Let me see.
I only
Check out
just
this
noticed.
one.
Sorry, I'm so
This one's pretty fine. This one's pretty funny. Watch. This is a good way to start any show. Watch.
I could be going away for a very long time.
Oh shit.
For something I didn't do. How about, gee, that's too bad, Anthony? Or what a shame, Tony.
We can't go into specifics on this.
Well, here's something specific. I didn't do anything wrong. We're not supposed to talk about it. I could be going to the can for the rest of my fucking life. And I'm not supposed to discuss it with my psychiatrist? What the fuck are you for, anyway?
How does that make you feel? The idea that you might be sent to prison?
I just gotta stay around a little while longer for the kids. Especially my boy. Once he's out of the house, the government can do whatever the fuck they want to do. Give me life, give me the fucking chair, whatever they want.
I've never seen you like this.
Like what?
Scared.
I wouldn't use that word.
But I wouldn't use that word. But sometimes I feel, I don't know. You motherfuckers. You know, I don't fucking deserve this.
How's your medication? Maybe we should stop.
I say so.
Yeah.
All right.
She wasn't much good, hey?
Nah.
You'd be firing her on the spot.
She was infatuated, I think, with him or something. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I think. I don't know. But at the end, she kicked him to the curb, though, I think. Yeah, she did. I don't know why this fucking ain't live, man. Like, I know it's live on here.
Are. No, we're live.
We are. But do you see us live on, like, YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fuck it. All right. Yeah, I guess fucking doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, and just drop a comment.
All right. I just want to make sure. Yeah, I would have invited Ronnie in. I will invite Ronnie in if he wants to come in. He's always welcome. Told him that a long time ago. Oh, good. All right. Yep. Okay. All right. There was like fucking 6 people in there fucking just a little while ago.
Yeah. They've all gone back to work.
No.
Just get it rolling.
Yeah. So what do you think? Let me think. Yeah, this is going to be tough for the first couple fucking times, I think.
Yeah. So just work through the teething problems. It's all good.
Yeah, I'm trying to fucking think. Excuse my language. That's why I say 18
That's
and
right.
over.
No, I'm really going to have to be mindful of my Australian. As we say everything.
Yeah, but that's fine though. That's fine though.
Yeah,
why? There are good people in Australia.
Not very becoming of a lady, though. You know, have a bit of decorum.
Well, that's true. That's true. But yeah, but there's none of that shit here. Don't worry about that. People ain't
like especially when it's a group of blokes like sitting around talking and the banter. Yeah, some words might slip out. Okay.
Yeah, and that's just that's normal. Like that's why fucking all these fucking mainstream media shit. It's like 3 minutes. What can you talk about?
Yeah, it's like get that stick out of your ass, mate. Just like
exactly. Exactly. Don't say the
curated. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't say shit. Don't say anything. You know, fucking. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, we can't have you here no more. I'm sorry. You use that.
Yeah, no, I'd never last. No.
What the fuck, man? That's why I tell my friends that are like commentating and stuff. I'm like, maybe do it on you independently. I think you're gonna be better off.
Yeah. Then you've got.
You might not be able to drink. You might not be able to drink there at the commentator's booth. You might not be able to say the F word or whatever the fuck you're thinking. I think that's why Teddy Atlas. I think that's why Teddy Atlas was fucking like fired. You know what I mean? I think he was fired because of that reason. You know, because he
just
always
too
spoke his mind.
Yeah. But I think
No, he was just saying, no, he was shit on the judges and shit. He'd be like, I don't know what fight you guys are watching, but this guy just got robbed. Like robbed. It happens all the time in fucking boxing.
Yeah.
But now the commentators just all go along with it. It's like we all know what we've seen because I've actually fought my life. I don't know what the fuck they're looking at. You know what I mean? They're right in front of it. How can't they see what we could clearly see? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't understand. Maybe the ropes.
It's interesting. It's like
or maybe it's looking up. Maybe it's looking up. I don't know. Maybe they have a point. Maybe they're looking up at the ring and seeing it from a different angle than we are. I don't know.
Then how come 10, 20 years ago they didn't have a problem with their eyes, mate? Like seriously.
Exactly. Well, there's always been
I don't know. Is it a this thing or is it what? Because like for people who don't really know the technicalities, they're going to be influenced and listening to that, and so that's going to like have some. I don't know if that would be cognitive dissonance.
There's fighters that will not take a dive. You know what I mean? There's definitely fighters that will not take a dive, but there are fucking like promoters, judges, and fucking refs go out to dinner, drinks the day before the fight card, so they already know if this goes to decision, give it to this guy. They already know. Yeah. And if there's more money to be made, like say Tyson Douglas, when he lost his first fight, Buster Douglas. I mean, that was a fucking 20-second count for Douglas. You know what I mean? It was a 20-second count.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, sometimes they come together, right? And they say, we'll make more money, like 10 times the money, if this guy loses, this heavy favorite. You know what I mean? And if the favorite's with it, if he's with it, if he's not a legacy fighter, he's like, yeah, sure, I can make all that money and fucking not have to worry about. Yeah. So I tell people, don't ever be surprised. Like people are like, I can't fucking believe it. What do you mean you can't believe it? This shit's happened fucking since the fucking 1800s. Fucking like
since it was bare knuckles.
Yeah. Queensberry rules are fucking a street fight.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. I've only just found that again on YouTube, but when we were talking about the bare knuckle fighting and like 2 lives ago, I'm like, where's that channel? Like, why have I not been informed? Seriously, it's still out there, but
and a lot of boxers like they used to go 15 rounds. Like, you know what I mean? To fight once a month. You know what I mean? Not once a year, once a month. I don't even think it's the fighter's fault. I think it's like too many cooks in the kitchen. You know what I mean? I think there's like. You know what I mean? Like too many people got to get their piece. You know what I mean? And that's what stops fights from happening. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like Leonard and Hagler is a perfect example. It's like Hagler asked him to fight him 100 times in 10 years. And then fucking Leonard cocaine's a fucking hell of a drug, man. It's like, oh yeah, maybe I could beat him now. You know what I mean? But he didn't beat him. He didn't beat him because to beat the champ, you got to knock the champ out or really like be decisive. You know what I mean? Like no question that he was. I didn't even see Hagler was dancing at the end of the fight like this, dancing like this, not even a mark on his face. Like,
still had all that stamina. Wasn't fatigued at all.
And I am biased. He didn't get his first championship fight till 50 fucking wins in the pros. He was 50-2 before he got his first fucking championship fight. So like obviously it's a lot of bias. There's a lot of fucking what's it called too? Politics. You know what I mean? Just what do you think with mental health and trauma? See, mental health doesn't mean you're what's it called? You have anything wrong with you. It's just fucking like childhood traumas, head trauma. Like fighters are gonna go through this shit later in life. Like when they're 40, 50 years old.
From trauma, like not even emotional. That's like literal physical. Same with, like, football players,
but they're both the same.
Yeah.
Look at Junior Seau. I don't know if you know who Junior Seau is. Junior Seau I get the cluster headaches he used to get. He blew his brains out because he couldn't take the headaches no more. He blew his brains out, and he was a fucking big, strong guy. Like, definitely not no fucking coward. You know what I mean? Definitely a tough fucking guy. And blew his brains out. Couldn't deal with the fucking it's a cluster headache's worse than a fucking migraine. You know what I mean? So it's hard to explain. It's hard to explain to people. It's like trying to explain fucking tripping to somebody. You know what I mean? It's not about like not the visual. It's the feeling you get when you take like psychedelics, or you take mushrooms or whatever. You just feel humble. You understand you're just a little tiny piece of matter in this huge fucking universe. And then there's fucking 10 other universes past this one. You know what I mean? Who knows what happens when you go through that black hole? Where do you come up? Where do you come out on the other side of the black hole? To a whole nother fucking place where people were already here and already fucking figured out how to get to the other fucking universe. And that's what UFOs are. They're just like sending us fucking technology and saying, figure this fucking shit out, and then you guys will be here where we are. You know what I mean? I don't know. I have no idea. It gets fucking deep. It gets fucking deep talking about that shit, man.
It really does, and there's so many different takes on it as well, and some are really far-fetched and some are actually quite reasonable and grounded in logic, even though that sort of stuff you sort of got to go beyond the logical part of the brain.
Scientists fight with each other though. It's like, why can't you guys just agree to disagree and say, you know what, you might have a point. You know what, you might have a point. You know what I mean? Like, listen to my point, and what do you like, debunk it or something? You know what I mean? I don't get it. It's like, even with the Democrats and Republicans here in America, it's like they used to work together for the American people. Now it's like they don't, Tulsi Gabbard said it. Who was called a Russian asset. She's helping all the fucking wounded fucking soldiers in Iraq and Afghanistan. How the fuck can she be a fucking Russian asset? You know what I mean? It's like this lady. I don't know, man. I feel bad, but she said the first day she was in Congress, she said, "Oh, you don't talk to the fucking the Republicans in here. Like, Democrats talk to Democrats, Republicans talk to Republicans. We don't talk to each other." I'm like, when the fuck did that start?
How's anyone gonna find a solution to anything with that?
Well, it's all greed and shit. It's all money. You know what I mean? Exactly. And listen, not all obviously it's not all of them. Obviously it's
100%. Yeah.
And a lot of people hate Trump. Listen, I don't hate Trump. You know why? Because he's been in more rap songs than any other white guy ever, right? And no bullshit, right?
No, I'm just thinking that's true. Yeah.
No, it's really true, right? And here's the other thing: he's not a politician. He's not a politician. He didn't have to become president. He played golf at Key Largo for the fucking rest of his life. You don't have to fucking be the president. So I was just like, you know what? I don't care about me. I care about my kids and their kids, and your kids and your kids and their kids. You know what I mean? Like, I think more people need to stand up for America and stop being bitches. And not only that, all the free countries. You know what I mean? There's not fucking many of them. You guys are free. You guys are free for the most part,
we're
right?
Supposed to be, yeah. Like, I joke around and say we're China's pocket, but you know.
Well, you guys know what I mean is like America has a huge base in the middle of Australia, right? Now, listen, if someone fucking attacked you guys, America, we are allies, right? America would definitely have your back. It's like Taiwan, like
pretty tight.
Well, it's like Kuwait. The whole Iraq war started because of Saddam Hussein invaded Kuwait. I remember I tried to get in the Marine Corps then, right? And America came in and fucking kicked fucking Saddam Hussein out of there in fucking like not even a day. Like, see you later. You're gone now. You know what I mean? After they lit all their fucking oil infirmaries fucking on fire and shit.
Yeah. Once they did.
Yeah, America's always going to have their allies back, is what I'm saying. Like, I like Russians and I like Chinese people. I have nothing against them at all. They're good people. I have friends. I just don't like, I don't think a communist, one person could run millions and millions of people.
It never is. Like, if you read the Communist Manifesto by Marx and Engels, like, on paper, it's actually really beautiful. Like, I
agree with a lot of it. You're right.
It doesn't work in practice. Look how many
No, it doesn't.
times we've tried.
Socialism.
People end up eating each other, literally.
So-
like, it doesn't work. Neither does
It's like
extreme
socialism, right?
capitalism. Like, where's
like
the
socialism.
balance? Yeah.
Well, there's got to be balance in everything in life. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I noticed that. Like George Lucas, I think, was way ahead of the game. Even with Star Wars, it's like master manipulation. That's what the Sith do, right? The dark side of the Force, right? But even the dark side used to say they had to learn the good side too, so to have balance. You know what I mean? That's how you become the most powerful. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like, if you look at like all right, don't get me started on Star Wars, man, but like, if you look at it,
no.
the Jedi aren't
talk about whatever
saints
the fuck you
either,
want.
you know, like when they sort of went more into it, and that it's more like an individual thing, like every institution or construct like that, like any church, any clique, any group, you're gonna have your people who are more noble and want to stick to the fundamentals of their religion or their mission statement or whatever, and then you're going to have the egos. You're going to have the people that are more fear driven, that come from like a lower energy, that are going to be out for themselves, and they're going to, usually the pattern or the trend is, it's the shitheads, for lack of a better word, that sort of bring the whole thing down. Then, like, it's
Good
like,
job.
we've got to nip that in the bud, like, and people have to start seeing it happening and doing something about it, because otherwise, we just all like get sucked down because of like one or two people's greed or whatever.
And the funny thing is, I've been a Democrat my whole life. Now I'm not either on either side. That's why I did the live streams for the election, because I said this election is probably the most important election since I've been alive. You know what I mean? I really never followed the elections except for Bush and Gore, because Democrats here, it's like that's infrastructure, that's union work. You know what I mean? So you get Democrats in, we get a lot more work. You know what I mean? I remember it was a tie in Florida. Jeb Bush was the fucking governor there. So I'm like, right there, we already know Bush Jr. is going to win, because he's going to make sure he fucking wins. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just fucking, it's common sense. It's common sense. You know what I mean?
That was the election, wasn't it, where they were like counting for weeks afterwards? Because I think I remember that, and it was so close.
It was in
2000.
Like 2000.
Yeah, everyone was like just hanging, waiting. Yeah, and then right after that, 9/11 happened and everything, and it's been an interesting 20.
I'll never forget
a century. The last. Yeah.
You'll never forget where you were 9/11, right? I mean, I know I fucking won't. Yeah. I know people said they never forget where they were when President Kennedy died. I wasn't even born. I was born in 71. So, but I never forget where I was. I was driving home from Clinton, Mass at like 9 in the morning. All my friends would call me and say, they hit the fucking World Trade Center. I'm like, I thought in Boston, like the convention center. I thought that's what they were talking about. They said, wait till you get home and you'll fucking see, because we didn't have iPhones.
As soon as you turn that TV on, hey,
wait, that's exactly it. Once I went home and I see my wife and my friend downstairs, I'm looking at the TVs. I'm like, oh, now I fucking get it. I'm like, how the fuck really does that fucking happen? And then one fucking crashes in fucking 20 minutes later. It's like, how is that even fucking possible?
That's it. Wow. Like you're in shock at the first one, and like you just still, and then all of a sudden in front of your eyes, the second one hit. It was really,
and every country was on our side. Every country was on our side after that. Like everybody in America had an American flag.
Look, how many civilians died? That's where I got. Okay, the big boys are gonna fight with each other. Okay, but I've spoken with soldiers about it, and they make good points about collateral damage, but there's something in me that's like, no. If you're this big hectic god of war that you like to think you are, no one gets taken out except who you're aiming for, right? Then you're a boss. Then you're a master. Like,
so what you're saying is like, don't kill fucking 5,000 people to save 2 million 5 years from now, because we don't know what's going to fucking happen 5 years from now, right? Is that what you're saying? Because that fucking actually makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense to kill somebody that's might kill millions 5 years down the road. It makes sense to kill him, but not the innocent people around them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like a lot of innocents get caught up in the fucking mix. You know what I mean? So,
look, you like then we I don't know, to like tug at the heartstrings and manipulate us. It's like, oh, look at all these poor suffering children in the war zone. It's like, well, you're the ones doing it. Like, why are you gonna like? And it's
there's a lot of propaganda too. A lot of propaganda.
Yeah, and it can be difficult to see through. Like I used to be like extremely patriotic, and then the older I got, the sort of more sort of cynical I became about things.
Well, you gotta laugh.
I don't really pick sides now. I follow the truth. I'm like, oh, yep, I vibe with that.
Follow the truth.
And now on the right, I'm going, yeah, no, they're making a good point. I'm not sitting on the fence. I'm following truth. And now, like, because really, they're the red, the blue, they're really as bad as each other, pros and cons both sides.
The far left and the far right. You're right.
Let's not forget.
They're both just as bad.
It goes up. The power goes up. There's actually one entity, the master of puppets up the top, you know, so it's not even the red and the blue. That's just the filter exactly. While everybody's distracted fighting
over here while y'all watching this.
Yeah.
You over here.
Watch the hands.
It's like a magician.
Yeah.
It's like exactly. Big Hank, what's happening, brother? Good to see you, man. There was a bunch of people earlier, but I had to restart it, so I don't know what the fuck they are now. But it's all good. They all came in and said hello. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
What's I gonna say? Let people hear your story of or you want me to go first? I'll fucking go first. I go first
you go first.
Yeah, I go first. You know why? Because I don't mind calling myself a knucklehead, right? I don't give a fuck. I have humility. I don't give a fuck. Like obviously I give a fuck, but I don't give a fuck. Still recovering from that tough Sean O'Malley loss. Not me, bro, but the kid's fucking done good with his life. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, don't get I just say get rid of that TK69 fucking tattoo on his fucking body. Get rid of that fucking thing, and maybe you might have some better karma. I don't know. Dude, that kid Marab's a fucking animal, Big Hank. MMA. He was running the day after fucking the last title defense. He's a fucking animal. Sean O'Malley's good, but he's maybe he might need to fight people in like the top 15, like, you know what I mean, up there to get his fucking offense back or something like that. You know what I mean? Maybe that's all it is. It's a mind. Fighting is all mind. You know what I mean? It's all mental. It's all mental. It's like Patchy Mix. Like, he's a fucking great fighter, a really good fighter. He belongs in the UFC, but that first time being in front of that many fucking people, it's even Bellator was really good and everything. Don't get me wrong. I miss Bellator still, but it's different when you go to the UFC. I don't care how good you are. It's different. It's just different. You're dealing with a lot better fighters. Like, you know what I mean? I don't care if you go all the way to the top 25. Everyone, once you get to top 15 and top 10, they're all killers, Big Hank. You know that, bro. I know you know that, bro. Big Hank, MMA. Yeah, like Pseudo, Rob Font. Yeah, like I think Rob Font would be a really hard fight for O'Malley because remember that kid that with the green hair from locally from around here? He couldn't knock him out. That kid just kept coming. And I seen Sean O'Malley, eyes wide open, like everything I hit this kid with, he won't go down. He just keeps coming forward. I'm like, that's guys from around here. We don't quit. You know what I mean? Like, and I think he was happy that fight got fucking stopped. I seen like relief in his face when because that kid just kept coming at him. Like, he couldn't believe he wouldn't go down. He had him fucking eat pizza, and he just got signed back to the UFC, actually. Naka. The kid with the green hair, it starts with his last name begins with an M. But anyways, I gotta get some humility here now. All right, I grew up with my mother, single mother, so I think that has a lot to do with a lot of people that go to prison and shit. I really believe that's like one of the things. I'm not saying it's like I'm not saying it's a mandatory. I'm just saying, like, when you're a kid and you're like, why doesn't my father want to be here, right? Yeah, when you're a kid, you just think like that.
Yeah.
Huh?
The statistics don't lie on that.
Yeah. It's like a mother trying to be a father and a mother at the same time. It's not fucking easy. It's not fucking easy. I see my mother trying to do it. I used to tell her, Ma, you're hurting yourself more than you're hurting me. Like, I would run away for 3 days because I knew she'd be worried. You know what I mean? So I knew that was how I get her back because I couldn't hit her. I wasn't going to hit her. She'd break fucking wooden spoons over my fucking head. Fucking break them in half. I go, now you're going to have to go buy another wooden spoon. It didn't even hurt, Ma. It's like, but so anyways, right? So then I used to think to myself, I kick ass in all these sports with all older kids. Why wouldn't my father want to come see me like kick ass? Like I was just thinking if I had a kid, but I'm a kid. I'm only 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, whatever, right? I always thought that to myself. So I was kind of embarrassed, ashamed, or whatever the fuck. But all my friends' parents always treated me really good because my aunt, my uncle shipped me and my mother here from Pittsburgh when I was still in diapers. So I don't remember because I was still a baby. But my father was he's a fucking abuser. You know what I mean? Like beating my mother up and fucking all that shit. You know what I mean? So, I have no respect for men that do that to women. I just don't. And then I see people talk about John Jones hurt, beating the shit out of his wife. I go, if he beat the shit out of his wife, he'd kill her. He would kill her because usually guys that beat up women, they can't beat up men, so they got to beat up women. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things, I think, or it's sent down from fucking generation to generation, whatever the fuck it is. You know what I mean? I would think like they always say it's not pedophiles' fault. They got touched when they were kids, so that doesn't mean you go touch your kids or
so
do
a lot of people who don't do that. So like that's what I think.
I couldn't even like imagine like get turned on by a kid, but your own kids. It's like I'll never understand that shit in my mind. I'll never understand that. I noticed it when my aunt and my uncle like divorced, and then my aunt went back to fucking Pittsburgh, and my uncle kind of just moved fucking like I don't know like about 5 blocks away from here, and my aunt said, I said, I want to go with you, Aunt Becky, right? Rest in peace to my Aunt Becky, right? She goes, I'll call you in 2 weeks, and you tell me if you want to come, because 2 weeks from now, you're gonna wish you probably didn't come with me, right? And not even a week later, she called. She goes, you still want to come back? And I'm like, no, you were right, Aunt Becky. I want to stay here with my mother and my friends. You know what I mean? So she was right. It's like my Aunt Becky knew all this shit like before it even happened. It's like you got to grow up in life. You got to get older. So I think that's what started me off like that betrayal shit. That loyalty is really important to me. And I think, I had to man the fuck up on my mother to watch my brother and sister when she worked 6 at night till 6 in the morning, let her sleep from 6 in the morning till fucking noon. You know what I mean? I'd watch my brother and sister till then for 6 hours or whatever, 7. We'd wake up at 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning or something. And I'd watch my brother and sister. I never had a problem with it, but so I was kind of happy to have a brother and sister, but it wasn't from the same father. You know what I mean? Even they got fucked over because their father died when my mother was 3 months pregnant. And I was right beside my mother and him when, we used to sleep together in the same fucking bed because he owned a motel and a diner in front of the motel. So he had like an office with a big bed and fucking, so it was like 2 beds. I think it was like 2 beds or something. I forget. I was such a young fucking kid. All I remember was the guy was a good guy, really good guy. And, he had a Cadillac, he had a black one, a red one. He had a boat, used to bring me out fishing, fucking for flounders and shit out in the Atlantic Ocean. So I'm like, my brother and sister kind of got fucked over too. They were twins, you know what I mean? And so, they didn't turn out too good. They got babied their whole life by my mother and my stepfather and shit. And I never got babied. And I kind of like turned out better than them, even though my brother and sister are good kids, you know what I mean? Like, I only wish the best for them, you know what I mean? But when you can't trust somebody and I don't care if they're blood or no blood, if you can't trust them, I can't be around them, you know what I mean? Until they straighten their lives out, you know what I mean? We all know you can't make somebody fucking straighten their lives out, you know what I mean? Unless you want to straighten your life out, you know what I mean? And no one's going to believe you until you do it, you know what I mean? And it's like I've had this fucking argument with my brothers for years. It's like I always kept you guys away from what I was doing, you know what I mean? And then it's like when I get home from prison and shit, I see my brother and sisters hang around with my friends and shit. It's like misery needs company. It's like your friends that are fucking miserable need company, or they just want the younger fucking generation around them too. I don't fucking even I don't understand it. I really don't understand. Playing sports and stuff is one thing, younger guys and stuff. But I grew up, I was the youngest kid too. I was the youngest kid around a bunch of fucking older. My cousins lived there. They were 2 years older than me. Tough kid, my cousin Larry. You know, salute to my cousin Larry. Lives in South Carolina. Good dude. And my cousin Lisa. They were older than me. And my friends, my aunt and uncle. My first friend was like 2 years older than me too. So like I always grew up with older kids. You know what I mean? So yeah, I was always. I guess my mother always gave me all the love in the world. I'll never blame my mother for none of it. You know what I mean? But she was that. Fucking, she'd be drinking with one hand and telling me what to do with the other finger. She'd be doing drugs with one hand, drinking with one hand, and telling me what to fucking do with the other. It's like, nah, I ain't listening because you're a hypocrite. You're full of shit. Because this is like 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 years old. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what do you want me to go through what you went through? She went through hell with her fucking mother and father. And I think that you just get anger as a kid because all you want to do is like protect your mother. You know what I mean? As a boy, you know what I mean? You want to protect your mother.
Yeah.
And when guys would whistle at her when I'd be walking down the street with my mother, I'd be like, "Fuck you, motherfuckers!" You know what I mean? I didn't give a fuck. Like even at 5, 6 years old, I'd be like, "It's kind of disrespectful." You know what I mean? But what the fuck am I gonna do? I'm 5, 6 years old, but I would like literally have my mother's back. Yeah,
had the heart.
It's weird.
You had the heart to go.
It's weird, but all my friends' parents would always treat me really good, no matter what it was. They knew like, you know, my mother's a good person. They knew that shit. She wasn't a bad mother. It's just being a mother and a father with 3 kids and having all that bad luck, and her parents fucking you know, messing with her and her sisters and shit. It fucking, I didn't even know this shit till I was like 12, 13 years old. I used to go back to Pittsburgh like once every summer for like 2 months. I mean, 2 weeks. I go with my mother's side of the family for, you know, 10 days, and then my father's side of the family for like 3, 4 days. And I never met my father till I was like 32 years old. But I just thought I had to do it. You know what I mean? I had to go meet my father. And you know, I wasn't impressed. You know what I mean? Only thing I was impressed is he looked really young for his age. You know what I mean? And I was like, all right, well, at least I got those genes. I guess I'm going to have a baby face for the rest of my fucking life or something. I guess. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess there's a silver lining to it, right? And I remember offering my father out at his house with my uncle and my father's house. And right in front of my uncle and my cousin. And I said, stand the fuck up, big boy. You know, you're a big tough guy. Stand the fuck up. Because I wanted to fucking, like, you know, humble him. You know what I mean? And he wouldn't get up. He wouldn't get up off the fucking chair. I go, exactly what the fuck I thought. I go, you're a fucking pussy. I go, I can't believe how you guys fucking listen to him and he fucking throws a temper tantrum, whatever the fuck. And you guys, if I had to have my little brother take care of me, that's a nightmare. That thought, just that thought of my brother having to take care of me. Because I see it. Like, I'm like, why would the fuck would brothers live with each other? You know, it's my fucking father. You know what I mean? He needed a fucking place. I know, but I think he did pay for half the house. I guess he did put money down on the house. But he did 10 years in prison. Check this out. He fell in the 80s, 38 feet and fractured his skull. 2 months after I met him, when I was 32, in 2003, I fell 14 feet on my head and fractured my skull. What the fuck? What are the odds of that? What are the odds of that? I'm just wondering, like, I don't know. I don't think I know anybody, a father and son, who had the same exact injuries, almost. Well, when you fall on your head 14 feet or 38 feet, he fell. I guess he fell he was like walking on an I-beam, and he fell up the I-beam, and he banged his head off another I-beam while he was going down 38 feet. I don't know how the fuck he survived, because I had a 50-50 chance. I only fell 14 feet on my head. You know what I mean? He fell 38 feet.
Huge,
yeah, it's huge. It's huge. It's huge. But I really think, honestly, I think like just having a mother and a stepfather was a good guy. You know what I mean? I still love my stepfather to this day. We had an agreement, me and my stepfather. It's like, you know, just take care of my mother and take care of my brother and sister. And don't worry, I'm never home. So you don't got to worry about me. Just worry about them. But if you ever fuck with them, right? See that aluminum baseball bat? I'm going to bash it over your fucking head. And then I started, having this and started selling drugs really young because they took sports out of junior high and called it middle school. And that's all I ever did every day was play sports. That's all I did for the first 10, 11, 12 years of my life. And then I became, once they took all the sports out of fucking junior high and called it middle school, it was 7th, 8th, and 9th grade was junior high. And then they called it middle school, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. I'm like, here I am looking forward to like smashing all these other fucking junior highs in the city. Then I go to fucking middle school and there's no sports. They took all the sports out. And that's all we did our whole life. Yeah, it's like what the fuck? So we had to beg just to have a floor hockey league, you know what I mean? And we did that, right? But I seen all my older friends making all kinds of money just selling joints. 2, 5, 4, 10, 6, 15, 8 for 20 in the early 80s, right? Cents a million, seedless, right? And yeah, that's his name, Big Hank. You got it, brother. That's him. You're right. Montanano. John Jones, lucky his wife, not Kayla Harrison. Yeah, that's true. Does Kay have? I don't know. Crazy? How many dogs, Crazy?
2. I got another bitch coming tomorrow.
Oh, shit.
So I'll have
I had
3.
2 German Shepherds. So
yeah,
that's 3. I had 2.
Sorry, mate.
That's how I fell off my stairs. No, don't be.
Oh, yeah,
no,
that's right. You were
right.
saying the dog.
That's how I felt. That's how, I swear to God, that's how I felt. But I was, I just got done smoking a joint and throwing the ball to my dogs. I think I just sniffed some opiates too, probably, or something like that, I think. So, yeah, I grabbed the railing and I went right over both dogs. And right on my head, boom, 14 feet. And here's the thing. When you're a wild motherfucker prior to a head injury, I guess you become even 10 times more wilder with a head injury. Like Roseanne Barr, she had a bad head injury really young in her life. That's why she's so erratic, right? There's a lot of people. Joe Rogan talks about this shit.
Yeah,
it's like fighters. Fighters that hit a lot, right? They get a wild fucking they got a wild side to them. But I was already wild before my head injury. And I've already taken shots, sparring and shit. I don't think that had anything to do with any of it. You know what I mean? I just once my daughter was born in 94, that's when I started seeing life a little different. Like, honestly, no bullshit. Once I cut that umbilical cord and seen how tough my wife was for 38 hours, like in labor, that'll fucking give you a whole different perspective on life, man. No bullshit. Yeah, so I did two state bids before I was 26 years old, 19 years old, went until I was 21, and then did another state bid at 94 to the end of 96. So and then I smartened the fuck up, I went to work, back to work legally, and you know what I mean? I ended up doing fucking 3 months for my union because, I had to set precedents. People trying to take the union over, and I had to set precedents like you do anywhere in life. You know what I mean? Like you do on the streets, like you do in prison, like you do in juvie, like you do anywhere, like someone's fucking, it's like, I wanted to say to the judge when they sentenced my ex-business manager, who's a good dude, wasn't even a fucking criminal at all. I wanted to say to the judge, Your Honor, if someone sucker punched you, would those CEOs over there bundle that guy? Yeah, they would. So it's the same thing with us. Someone sucker punches our fucking business manager, we're going to go humble that motherfucker. You know what I mean? And lucky, we didn't kill him. You know what I mean? Luckily, we had restraint and just, humbled him. You know what I mean? Humiliated him, basically. And I think that's, I think all that anger and shit comes from probably, just, I think it's not having a father. I think it's like all, men, I get it. When you're young and shit and you end up having a kid, you're probably not with the woman you probably want to be with or whatever the fuck it is, or you haven't matured yet. What do they say, 25 years old till we mature? I think women mature a lot younger than men, but I think it's like 25. They say men mature and start seeing life, start becoming more conservative, I guess, or realistic, I guess. Because before I was,
they say our brains stop developing at 25, but like the more we find out, the more we're like, well, actually, there's this thing called neuroplasticity. But generally, yeah, it might be more like of a social thing, really. Like we get to 25 and we've generally experienced everything right through to young adulthood, and yeah, but then even then, some people are more mature than others, so. It
that's
just
true.
depends.
That's
And,
very
and
true.
females are born with more neural pathways already naturally open in the brain than males. So I always joke around. So like there's the proof there,
It's
right
true.
there in nature. We are literally born smart.
Yeah, women have more patience than men, definitely. Like my wife has 10 times the patience I have. And if I didn't
Okay.
listen to her a lot of times, you know what I mean? Like a lot of times, I would have probably went back to prison, a million different fucking things, 1,000 different things, whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? If I didn't listen, you know what I mean? And just stay home, you know what I mean? And she would say, I have a bad feeling, you know what I mean? I go, all right, I'll stay home tonight. And
That women's intuition. Yeah.
yeah, it's like we all, I have intuition. I have a gut
Yeah.
that I
Everybody
listen to.
has it. Yeah.
And everyone has that gut feeling and shit, and that's really I think that's I don't think it's always right. I think it's like 9 out of 10 times it's right. You should definitely listen to your gut feeling. You know what I mean? But
I think, yeah, the
Aunt
gut's
Williams, good to
always
see you,
right for
brother.
me.
What's up,
Yeah, I
brother?
think my gut's always right. It's just I think sometimes my head gets in the way before I follow my gut. Like, you know what I mean? My head will get in the way and then I'll start second guessing it and then it just ends up a big mess. So but I reckon if you actually follow your gut, if you really can differentiate between what's instinct, what's intuition, and what's your mind getting in the way and starting to like second guess
Your
things
mind
and
playing tricks on you.
yeah,
Your mind playing
yeah.
tricks on you. Like I think
Yeah,
that's a true thing too. I think that's a true
for
thing
sure.
too. I'm letting these dudes know, good dudes in here. This is Mental Health Mondays. Ant and Big Hank, and there's all the other people out in here earlier. Like this mental health trauma, all that shit. You know what I mean? I don't think there's enough people doing anything about this shit. Ant, I know understands the mental health thing and the fucking trauma shit. I know he understands this shit because he lives right in L.A., Los Angeles. I don't give a fuck where you are in America, worldwide. There's a lot of people since the shutdown. I think it even like made it 10 times more. I used to always say this during the shutdown. I go, for people who ever did time, state prison time, whatever, this shutdown ain't shit. You know what I mean? It doesn't do nothing to me. You know what I mean? I'd be outside every day telling people go out and get fucking sunshine. You know what I mean? Fucking take your mask off and breathe fresh air. You know what I mean? Like, just letting you know, yeah, not talking about fight. This is just something we're trying to fucking do to help, and give back to people. Because, there's not enough people doing this shit. A lot of people definitely have mental health issues or trauma or childhood trauma or fucking head trauma or whatever the fuck it is. You know what I mean? There's so many different fucking names for it. I'm not an expert on this shit. I just know, like, time heals all wounds, and over time you could deal with it. You know what I mean? If you're really stubborn like I am, like I'm just one of those people that'll never let no one beat me. I don't know. It's just you have to have that mentality. If you don't, you can't use that victim, I don't know, mentality, even though people are victims of a lot of fucking horrendous shit. I'm not saying they shouldn't use the victim mentality. They should I guess fucking just talk about it. You know what I mean? I think that's the best thing you can do is talk about it. Just let it out there, right? And no one can judge you out there. No one can judge me. No one can judge you. No one can judge anybody there, right there in the Savage Room right there. I'm not going to judge Ant. I'm not going to judge Big Hank. I ain't going to judge any of these people because they have the right to their opinions. You know what I mean? That's it. I'm not going to fight with them. You know what I mean? I think Ant knows that. I think Big Hank knows that. I think other people know that. I just say, listen, I agree to disagree. You know what I mean? That's it. That's it. Like, you have your fucking opinion. I have my opinion. Everyone's entitled to their opinions. How much do you think it's in Australia, mental health? Because everyone there seems to be happy. It seems like
Um,
Australia, people are just well centered and balanced. It seems there.
I guess
Is it as
like
bad? Is it as bad as here?
comparatively,
You notice
yeah,
it. You notice it.
we've got a much smaller population as well. I think there's like not even 30 million people over here. I don't know, it's growing obviously, but like
yeah,
there's a lot of focus on mental health, but having been through the system, like as a client and looking into doing it, like sort of as someone who contributes to it. Yeah, it's very, it seems to be a lot of it's political virtue signaling, unfortunately, in my experience, what I've noticed in that. So there's a focus on it, yes. I think it's like the squeaky wheel gets the oil, so to speak. So whatever sector of mental health is sort of making the most fuss. Say, for example, when I left DV and they were working on women's mental health, and I was in like the homeless system and things like that. At the exact same time, they were going on about, oh, we're celebrating White Ribbon Day. Sorry, Australia says no to violence against women and children, and then literally during all that campaign, millions of dollars getting thrown into the advertising of that campaign. They cut funding to women's homeless shelters, and changed the age for like what they give single parents, the pension. They cut the age of your youngest child from 16 to 8, like that. So I was like, so I literally was on the streets with 3 kids, obliged to look for like 20 jobs a fortnight and things like that, while they're all running around going, we really care so much about mental health and protecting our vulnerable. It's like, yeah, it's kind of lip service, a lot of it. Not to say there's not a
lot of gray areas, a lot of
really good people in there trying to do it. It's just,
I'm sure there is. Yeah.
Unfortunately, the people at the top only give an F about this and posturing. It's not, because it's not affecting them. I mean, it really is, because there's definitely a lot of mental health issues like cluster B personality types and things like that in politics, for sure. But people who have those kind of mental health conditions are kind of oblivious to it. That's the point. That's why that's their diagnosis. But like, yeah, as for like and
there's
like,
nothing
even
to be ashamed of, though. There's nothing to be ashamed of. But the people should be ashamed, though, that get all that money and fucking keep 70% of it and put 30% towards the cause.
Yeah. Well, because
what the fuck is that?
They're not going to fly in coach, mate. They need those first class tickets. That's what's important.
Exactly.
That's what's important, bro. Yeah.
It's like Black Lives Matter, right? There's 3 white women fucking running it. You know what I mean? It's like, shouldn't there be black woman and a black man there? Like, that actually was a good father.
You'd think that would be a little more like appropriate,
you know what I mean?
And like,
that's more appropriate.
That's a savior complex. That's
obviously all lives matter, but at that time, it was about Black Lives Matter. It's not about all lives matter at that time, and obviously still today. Like, it's like Jocko said it best. Jocko Willink said it best. He said, if you can't de-escalate a situation or physically, fucking put a man in a bad position physically, you know what I mean? That's why people get shot, because they can't fucking physically
scared.
Restrain a man. Yeah, they're scared because they got their fucking that badge and gun from their fucking uncle that's a fucking a politician, and even the cops can't fucking stand people like that. You know what I mean? But they have to protect them, because once you're a cop, you always, it's like if you take the oath in La Familia, right? You got to take that oath. You can't.
That's
you know,
it's fraternity. Then
you take the oath.
You got to have your brothers
exactly.
back.
So if you go to prison, for 30 years, you go to prison for life, or you die really young. Well, those are fucking 75, 80%, 90% of the fucking time that's gonna fucking happen. And if you can't handle it when it happens, then you should have never took that fucking oath in the first place. You know what I mean? It's just like, I'm not good at taking orders anyways, and I'm not 100% Italian, so I couldn't take that oath anyways, but I definitely fixed problems for people, you know what I mean, when I was young, you know what I mean? And the same reason I was offered that job in the union. You get 150 guys 500 feet down a fucking shaft, you know, fucking 75 this way, 75 that way, 9 miles in, right? You got to have a man up top that, you know, can keep everybody in line and not scared to go down there and fucking slap someone in the fucking mouth that gets cute. You know what I mean? Because in the union, you need leaders. You know what I mean? You have to have leaders. Here's the thing. I would never tell someone to do something that I wouldn't do myself. So I would always go down there every shit I go down there, I'd yell at the fucking company guys, do not sit there and bird dog my men. They know exactly what the fuck they're doing. There's like a 10th or fucking 15th tunnel we've fucking done. So you go down the fucking 5 miles down the fucking tunnel, grab that 5-gallon fucking bucket there and go read the paper. I catch you down here looking over my guys again. You're gonna find you in that fucking form right there. In the forms, you're gonna fucking be 8 fucking different pieces of those fucking forms. This is the way you would have to talk to these fucking idiots because they're all from the southwest, right? They never been to the northeast dealing with unions ever. They've been dealing with people $7 an hour, not paying people $130 an hour, like union rate. You know what I mean? So when they got to deal with sandhogs that actually build tunnels, that's what we do for a living, right? That's what I did for a living for a long time. You know what I mean? For 17 years. So, and I was offered that job because of my merit, you know, credit on the streets of merit. You know what I mean? It's like my business manager, ex-business manager, picked the right 3 guys because all 3 of us never fucking, went with them all the way to the end and told the feds to go fuck themselves. You know what I mean? I actually told the feds, who the fuck is feeding you this shit? He's not a criminal. I go, they should have made a fucking statue of that guy in the boroughs that we come from. You know what I mean? The 2 boroughs of Quincy, 13 boroughs, right? I'm like, Southwest Quincy, they should have made a fucking statue of that guy because he helped guys like me. You know what I mean? With legal jobs, making $120,000 a year, whatever the fuck, right? And, you know, usually to get in the union, you got to know somebody. You know what I mean? Like someone's got to bring you in there. You know what I mean? Like he actually offered me this job. Now, listen, if I took that job, when he offered it to me, I might not have picked up my second state bid. So after my second state bid, I'm like, I'm going to take that fucking job because selling drugs, it's just, it's like ghetto fabulous. That's basically what it is. It's like you're driving around, cops hear things, you know what I mean? Because there's always a bird in their ears. There's always someone, I got to stay the fuck out. I got to tell on this one, tell on this one. You know what I mean? Then they start calling people rats and they're trying to eat off themselves. It's fucking amazing. It's really like, it's, you know, it's what's it called? It's reverse psychology or whatever the fuck. It's in the art of war. Like a lot of shit in the art of war. Yeah, or it's whatever. Or they just feel guilty. You know what I mean? It's like you should feel guilty. Like everybody I ever worked for never went down because of me. You know, never. Like still to this day, they're still fucking doing their thing. You know what I mean? They're still doing their thing to this day. And I've only worked for about 3 guys in my life, like mentors. They're like more like mentors to me. You know what I mean? And even in the union, you know what I mean? Like the guy who offered me the job was the boss, right? But he was a generation ahead of me. You know what I mean? But you know, he's seen it. You know, on the streets, he's seen it. He's seen like when he used to go buy booze for us, he would see like who are the leaders. You know, are those 100 or 200 guys that were standing there selling fucking joints, and he would buy joints and he's going to fucking buy booze for you, right? You're giving him the money to go because it was, you had to be 21 to buy back then, right? So, you know, everybody is selling joints to are actually grown men anyways, or grown women, you know what I mean? So most people are adults, 25, 30 years old. So it wasn't hard to find a buyer, you know what I mean? And I lived fucking 3 buildings down from a liquor store, you know what I mean? So I would have to go there to get cigarettes for my mother and put it on her tab, you know what I mean? And,
I remember those days.
Well, even kids could go get
to the store and buy some cigarettes for the parents. Yeah, they didn't even bat an eyelid. Like, see, kids be 6 years old.
And it's funny, like the people at the register would find out that you sold shit, right? And they would ask you for cocaine, fucking all kinds of shit. And you're looking at guys that are 60 years old and you're fucking 14, 15 years old. You're like, you fucking actually do cocaine at fucking 68 or 70 fucking 2 years old? He's like, yeah, man. He goes, fucking, I got a young girlfriend. You know what I mean? I go, oh, okay, all right. I just don't want you dying. You know what I mean? Or fucking anything like that. In the 80s, that's just the way it was. You know what I mean? Like, no bullshit. But when you're a
Sounded like
teenager,
he was living to me.
yeah. Well, I always say, I've said this a million times, like or thousands of times. I said I party better than rock stars and fucking rap stars when I was fucking in my teenage years. That's why it was really easy for me to stop when my wife said, you know, what do you think? You know, fucking no more drinking on the weekends. Maybe drink once a week, like once a month. I mean, like, you know, instead of every weekend. I'm kind of sick of waking up with hangovers. You know what I mean? And she would have to do all the work. Like, that's what I'm saying. She'd go to bed at like 1 a.m. She'd be up with our daughter at fucking 7 a.m. So, like, it wasn't fair to her. You know what I mean? And honestly, over time, like you're 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Then you go to prison. You come out when you're 21. Then you go back to prison 2 years later and you're 26. And then you're 26 to 29. You're still sniffing lines on the weekends, drinking. And it's like, those hangovers on Sundays and Mondays suck. You know what I mean? Because you get older. You know what I mean? It gets harder. And it's like, you know what? You know what? It's just wicked cool. Like, fucking, what's it called? Like waking up on a Sunday and a Monday with no hangover. It's like, I didn't need AA or NA to stop drinking. It's like, I don't want sympathy for shit I did to myself.
Just made the decision and stuck to it.
Yeah. It's just, and I would never tell nobody not to go to AA or NA. And that's what helps you. Absolutely. Like, I just feel like 100%. I knew exactly what the fuck I was doing. You know what I mean? And I definitely have those demons because it definitely goes through my family. You know what I mean? It goes through my like my aunts and my uncles, and you know they all. I think, well, at least half of them had fucking drug and alcohol problems. You know what I mean? My grandparents on my mother's side, they had alcohol fucking problems. You know what I mean? My grandparents on my father's side were the complete opposite. You know what I mean? They lived across the street from a church, went to church fucking 5 times a fucking week. Like, just really good people. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's strange, right? Because my father was like a fucking psycho, I guess. I guess he was a tough fucking guy, I guess. My mother used to tell me that when I was growing up. She goes, you remind me of your father. Like, the way you walk around and shit. Like, people used to actually walk on the other side of the street when they seen your father coming. I go, well, that don't happen with me, Ma. She goes, no, but you're really popular and you ain't scared to fight Robbie. Like, you get really intimidating looking. People used to say that, like my dear friends would say that to me. You're very intimidating looking. I'm like, how can you tell that through a text? How do you tell that through a text, like how I'm feeling? Like, energy. Like is it communication? Like, but I'm just saying, like, I'd rather look at someone in the eyes and talk to them or at least hear their voice. How can you tell if I'm in a bad mood through a text?
Yeah.
I could just be saying, ditto, or whatever the fuck, right? Or whatever the fuck, right? I agree, or whatever, right? That doesn't mean I'm pissed off. I get pissed off getting 10 texts from a friend when they're drinking and shit, and they send you 10 texts or whatever the fuck it is. It's like, why don't you just call me? And then I'll call them, you know, after 10 texts, they won't answer the phone. So I go, what is this? What is this, insecurity, or is it just me? Or am I the asshole? Am I the one like sending you 10 texts?
No, it's just old school, I think. Like, a lot of people really like technology because they don't have to interact with people, even people they like. It's kind of like, I don't know, especially since 2020, people have forgotten how to freaking speak to each other, you know? It's like it's a big daunting task, and I'm
people are agreeing. They're all agreeing in the Savage room, and I know fucking Answer Savage. I know for a fact he is. Like, he's come on here with me before. I know Ant would probably be a guy that would come on here, and we got locals around here that would come by. And you say you got people.
Everybody's got a story and an experience in mental health. It's a human condition, and it's good that people like are coming together to actually talk about it. Like, we're taking the initiative ourselves because, like, the people who should be, like, taking care of the community, like the governments whose actual job it is to take care of the community, have dropped the ball. So it's like, righto.
Thank you so much. Or they hired the most incompetent fucking people on the planet to do it. You know what I mean? It's one or
I
the
know,
other.
and they're supposed to be the most educated people. It's actually embarrassing to the human race. It's like a bunch of kids in the playground fighting over a game of friggin' cards or something. It's embarrassing. It's like you're leaders. You want to know about leaders. You just mentioned Jocko Willink. That man knows what leadership
What did he
is
say?
all about.
What did he say? And what did he say? Every cop should have a fucking purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
100%. He might be
All right.
biased because he absolutely adores jiu-jitsu, but he's I'm joking. He's got an absolute.
But some equivalent.
Yeah, definitely.
Some amateur boxing experience, some wrestling experience. So you actually know how to fucking physically restrain a fucking grown man or grown men.
Yeah. And that's why they used to have physical standards to get into. It wasn't to discriminate against people and hurt their fifis, you know. It was, are you going to be able to take down a hardened criminal? Sorry, love, if you're only 4 foot tall and like 90 pounds, you're not probably going to be physically suitable unless she's like
unless you know a technique.
He's like
some
kind of martial arts expert, like from 5 years old or something. Then hey, size doesn't really matter then. But like you know, generally speaking, you know, come on, people have to be realistic. Like this is what the standards have dropped. Like when I was 17, I was looking into getting into the police force, and I was like real naive about it, and I'm all like, I'm gonna catch bad guys and, you know, do the right thing in society. And I was actually dating a guy whose dad was a Crown Sergeant, and he sat me down and he told me straight. He really disillusioned me. It was like, because he knew I was being an idealist about it. He goes, you're going to have to join the club. You're going to have to turn a blind eye to shit that you don't like. And as a female, you're going to get treated like this. You're going to have like, you're going to have to be the Iron Maiden, you know, like, and just some of the stories he told me about what he'd witnessed. And yeah, I was just like, yeah, I don't think it's really for me. Like, probably not, because I'm not going to, I don't know. And like he thought physically I would have been okay. I might have had to try for it. But like I've been a tradesman too, like plumbing apprentice and that. And after 2 weeks, I've found I can get onto the, you know, I can keep up with the boys and stuff, because that's pretty gut busting work. But you know, if they get you holes, I have women that outwork.
I know women that outwork other men. I know my wife outworks men that I know. Yeah. I know I had this.
Have to,
a kid that was on my 2 albums. His sister outworked a lot of the guys that were up top with us, like grabbing fucking. She'd have 2 on her fucking each shoulder.
Yeah.
I'd have 2. Right, and all the other guys are grabbing 1, and I'm like, "What the fuck, man? Are you embarrassed a little bit? Like you're grabbing 1, she's grabbing 2? Like, shouldn't you be? Like, you know, we usually put women, like, wasn't my decision, but you know, usually the steward or the business manager would say, all right, put that woman up top, have her go get fucking coffees all day or lunch, whatever the fuck, you know, don't fucking kill her, you know what I mean? Just fucking, just let her get her 8 hours in, you know what I mean? That's it, you know what I mean? But there's a lot of women that rather earn their fucking keep and fucking do exactly what the men are doing. There's nothing wrong with that, as long as they fucking as long as they're not going to get someone killed.
Up,
you know what I mean?
That's it.
Yeah, as long as they keep up.
It's the person. Like generally speaking, of course.
Here's the thing about union jobs. There's people that want to be superheroes, right? And that's why, like, my business manager hired me. He's like, explain to these guys, Robbie, it's a fucking not a 50-yard dash, it's a marathon. So it's not a 3-year job, it's a 5-6-year job. Yeah. We're not going to be these motherfucking slaves. That's why there's unions. You know what I mean?
You're going to do the job properly as well. Especially with something like with mining, you're not going to want to just hammer through that mountain or under the ground. Everything's got to be done properly. Safety.
Check this out. There was a collapse in one of the central artery tunnels for travel. Like a lot of the tunnels I do were water tunnels, right? But the one near Central Artery, Ted Williams, and all those tunnels there was a few of them built right there. The reason that thing fell and collapsed on a car at fucking 2 a.m. or whatever the fuck it was because they hired laborers instead of sandhogs to fucking screw you. They use fucking epoxy instead of fucking using fucking chemical grout and fucking, fucking Swellex bolts that you drill into the cement, and then you put a machine on it, and if it pulls 5,000 pounds of PSIs of force, if the fucking pole moves like even a quarter inch, you'd have to fucking drill another hole and do it all over again. Yeah. It's to save money on every fucking hour worked and shit. We were making like $48 an hour, and laborers are making 28 or 30. So just to save money, that's how they fucking did it. You know what I mean? And not only that, I think my fucking maybe it was at a time when there was other people filling in for the business manager because he was in a fucking rehab and fucking out on bail for fucking shit. I told him to keep the fucking window down, and he didn't listen to me. And fucking see, these guys never been through the system before. And I tried to explain to him, no face, no case, Scott. You're sitting in the back seat of my expedition because it has tinted windows. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to humble this guy because he's going to rat. He's going to call the cops because his brother and fucking cousins just became cops. And they used to be Sanogs with us. It's like, whose side they going to take? Actually, they should have took their ex-boss's side because their ex-boss made sure they got fucking double pensions. You know what I mean? Gave them jobs while they were cops. All they had to do was go in their hour and clean up the hog house, and then they can leave and get their 40 hours. So they get their double pensions. So these people talk about loyalty. They know their brother's a psycho, right? They know their brother shook their ex-business manager's hands. He shook his hand, and then he fucking sucker punched him right after. And then my ex-business manager pulled out his gun ready to shoot the kid, and his friend stopped him and said, "Don't. It's not worth it. Call Robbie, Sig, and Eddie. Take care of it." You know what I mean? Thank God, he stopped him from doing that because he probably would have fucking killed him. And this guy wasn't even a fucking criminal. It's like there's a lot of people, like, they say, when life gets real, you find out who the real motherfuckers are, right? So obviously my ex-business manager, talked very highly of me and two other people, and we lost one of them. You know what I mean? He died a week before our pretrial in 2003. October 2003, he died of an overdose a week prior to our and he offered to take the time and everything because he didn't have kids. You know what I mean? He's like, "You and Scott have kids, Robbie. You guys are married. I'm married, but we don't have fucking kids." And he goes, "I can fucking use a fucking 3-month, 6-month break away from my fucking wife anyways." And that's the type of kid he was. His father trained me. You know what I mean? I know him since fucking first grade. He was in third grade. You know what I mean? Like I said, my older friends. You know what I mean? And I said, "Sig, no, don't even." He goes, "Robbie, I got him in the union. He's my responsibility." I go, "Well, he's my responsibility too, Sig." You know what I mean? And no matter what I said on the phone, he's like, "Robbie, I live right around the corner from him. You're coming this way anyways. Just come grab me." So I go, "All right, whatever, Sig." He goes, "Me and you, Robbie," just like, that's how we talked. You know what I mean? Rest in peace, Stephen P. Sigliano. He's a pro fighter, really good. Golden Glove champ, junior Olympic champ. His father trained me. I know why he was that good because his father's training was next level fucking training, right? So, anyways, fucking I remember when I walked into court that the following week after Sig died and shit, I was still up. I lost so many friends. It's just like it never gets easier. I thought you think it would get easier over time. It gets harder. It's like, another fucking wake. I don't even want to go to the funerals because I don't want to see him put in the ground. You know what I mean? I just go to the wake, show him respect and shit. And it's amazing, right? And I remember my business manager's lawyer said, "I got a deal for you guys. You guys blame it on Sigliano. You guys can walk out of here today. No probation, no nothing." This is like since 2001. You know what I mean? So when you have lawyers, it just keeps going, for 2, 3, 4 years, you know what I mean? Until you go to pretrial, you know what I mean? I had a good lawyer. My ex-business manager had a good lawyer. Even my boy Sig had a good lawyer. His lawyer was there out of respect to him, just to be there for him, you know what I mean? Be there present because he's gone, you know what I mean? And it's like the lawyer said, Peter, but I said his name on here, people. Bellotti. Everyone knows the Bellottis in Quincy. Good people, right? Really good people. And I said, "Peter, I couldn't do that to my worst enemy. Never mind my dear friend." And I can feel my dear friend's like subconscious or whatever it is, soul, saying, Robbie, do it. What are you, stupid? Like, you just walk away. Don't worry about it. You just had fucking brain surgery 6 months ago. I'm like, saying, I can't do it. I'm like talking to myself, talking to him like through my, telepathy or whatever the fuck it is. You know what I mean? When you say your prayers to yourself, it's kind of the same thing. You know what I mean? I said to the dude, to the lawyer, I go, I respect you, but don't ever say that to me again. I can't do it. I couldn't even do that to my worst enemy. And I said, I looked at Scott. I go, Scott, my ex-businessman, I can't do it, brother. I go to my lawyer, $30,000. Go get me something I can fucking do and get me a stay of execution because I have this fucking scar on my head. And I go, I got to get methadone every morning. I got to, I'm on all these painkillers. I'm on all these fucking Xanax. I go, I need like 3 months, to wean myself off these fucking things before I start this bid, whatever bid I'm going to fucking take a plea bargain to or whatever. You know what I mean? Because I will not fucking go up there and say it was his fault. When I was driving over there, ready to go slap the kid and fucking humiliate him, basically humble him. You know what I mean? And even the lawyers said, 99.9% of the people would have took that fucking deal. They would have blamed it on their dead friend and walked out of there with nothing. I don't know how anyone does that and looks at themselves in the fucking mirror the next morning when they're brushing their teeth. How do you look at yourself as a example or a fucking honor, a dignity, a fucking self-respect for your own self? Because you got to live with your thoughts when you put your head on your bed at night. I don't care if you have your wife right beside, like I do have my wife right beside me. I'm alone with my thoughts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just grateful I never broke that fucking, you know what I mean? I never broke that oath or dignity or like I knew the consequences for doing all the shit I've ever done in my life. Selling drugs, beating up grown men when you're a fucking teenager. When they're going to beat you up, you're going to beat them up. You know what I mean? Really, literally, like I said.
Law of the jungle, man. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really true. It's like 2 in the morning, 1 in the morning when they come out of the bar fucking with liquid courage. They would never talk shit during the day when there's 100, 200 of us. But at 1 in the morning when they're coming out, they see 4 or 5 of us. They think, oh, it's going to be easy. But that's even worse because those 4 or 5 are the biggest savages out of those 100 or 200.
Yeah. I love it when I love it when my underestimates me. It's great. Always puts you at the advantage instantly.
Yeah, it's
not that I scrap, but it's a bonus when they
really
do
true.
See this little female and they like, oh, you're nothing. It's like
but here's the thing: the shorter you are to the center of gravity, the smaller guys are the hottest guys to fight. The ones that are athletic and actually understand how to fight.
And can move. Yeah.
Yeah, they have good footwork and shit. They're harder to fight than the biggest guys I fought. Most guys I fought were always bigger. They were the easiest guys to fight because they're slow and they're fucking telegraphing all their punches. Everything you see, their punches come from way down here. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, all I got to do is move left and right and boom, you're done. All I got to do is touch you. So it's like that mentality. You got to have that mentality. If you have any doubt in your mind, well, if you didn't put the work in and shit, like you'd have that mind, oh, I'm not gonna lose. If you didn't put the work in, you're probably gonna fucking lose. I'm saying if you put that work in, if you trained a lot in your life and you know how to fight, it's like, okay, when I fucking touch these guys, like when I hit them, when I'm supposed to hit them on the chin, on the temple, or in the face right there, you bust their fucking nose and their eyes are watery and blood's fucking all over the place. You're kicking them in the fucking face and the ribs. You just know what you could do to somebody. You know what I mean? Yeah. And over time, being in so many fights, it has nothing to do with being in the ring or an octagon. It's in the streets. It's 10 times more dangerous. Or it's in a fucking bucket of blood bar. You know what I mean? You just don't know. You don't know if someone's going to pull out a gun, a knife, whatever, right? There's a million scenarios. You know what I mean? You get bang your head. You get knocked the fuck out, bang your head. It's like kicking people in the ribs and the head. I must have been really fucking stupid.
That happens a lot just from
It's the adrenaline.
People just getting punched, like it's them hitting their head on the ground or the gut. That's actually what takes people out. Like, at least like from what I've seen in the media and that, like in street fights and that, like Sydney. I'm not sure about the rest of Australia, but Sydney actually brought in really strict laws, like lockout laws. Once you've walked out after a certain time in the morning from an establishment, you're not allowed back in. They're not allowed to. And everyone whinged and said it's going to destroy our culture and we want to party and that, but it actually did improve the statistics of the street fights and like you said,
Kind of
everyone
makes
coming
sense.
out at 2, 3 in the morning. Yeah. But it's like people should just, be responsible in the first place. It's embarrassing that adults have to be so regulated, like legally regulated, because they just don't know how to act. It's like, especially once you
No,
get your 30s and 40s, it's like, grow the fuck up already.
I did.
It's
I can honestly say
embarrassing at
it
that
took me a long.
age.
It took me a long time to learn how to fucking act. I mean, I would
Yeah.
give people respect that they deserved it, and I definitely respected my elders unless they give me a reason not to. But
Yeah.
you're right. It's like even how you're just a cowboy when you're young and you're full of fucking testosterone and shit. And no bullshit. It's all about ego. Like it's our egos, and it's like you're always looking for that. I don't know. You want your friends to fucking say fucking, well, Bobby fucking hurt that guy, that guy, that guy, that guy, that guy, that guy, that guy. And they all still want to fucking fuck around. Like, I'll never understand it. And they also said a lot of times, I'm shocked you're not in jail for the rest of your life or for at least 10 years for killing somebody. You know what I mean? It's like, they're right. Because when you hit somebody, you hit them so fucking hard, you can hear it. It sounds like a gunshot go off, right? And then you're kicking them in the fucking head and the ribs on the ground. It's like, I wish, like, God, there's got to be angels or God or something. There's a reason for everything, I believe. I think everything's preordained, or I don't even know if it's preordained. I know there's just a reason for a lot of things in life. And I think I really believe having humility, and I could definitely say I was a knucklehead, but I can't take it back. Here's the thing. Would I do it differently? Probably not, because
Because it's who you are, who you were. It's
no,
when
it's
you're
the
talking about
journey I had
street
to go.
fighting, that's different
It's the
about
journey I had to go in
survival.
life.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
survival's
it is
different. The
different about
streets
survival.
is different. Like
It is.
you've got that 2 foot rule. You're exactly right. Like I haven't been like I was a hobo for nearly 10 years, man, and I had to learn because I got eaten alive. I had to learn if someone comes at you like fast, like you said, you don't wait
With
for
animosity.
impact. Like, oh, and now I can hit you back because it's like because you might not be able to hit them back. It's just it's on, and that's it. You don't even think about it. It's like I've already got you, mate. Because if I haven't beat you, I'm dead or worse. So it's just you just go, and like you said, it's
That
far
makes
more
you that
dangerous
makes you
because
worse. That makes you
yeah,
more
yeah,
dangerous because
it's
you have
it's
fear,
dangerous. Exactly.
a little bit of fear, and you have the butterflies, whatever the fuck it is. I know that's true because my cousin told me that about his cousin when he died. He goes, Robbie, you know what made him so crazy was the fear. Like if he was in fear, if he had a little bit of fear creep up, it would make him 10 times more dangerous. And I go, oh,
Yeah.
that explains a lot. That explains a lot. Now I know why he was so crazy. You know what I mean? But his brother was an animal too. You know what I mean? His older brother was an animal. I go, I don't think it's just fear. I think it's in the blood. You know what I mean? It's in the bloodline.
Yeah. And in psychology, like there's this thing called
Psychology, yeah.
there's different self states, and one of them can be like a protector self state where
So it's fight
say
or
you've
flight, right?
been abused as a child, yeah, and part of your personality will actually like create this protector, like and some of them can be like secondary psychopathic. Doesn't mean you are, but maybe there's a piece of you that's split off that takes over in those moments and
Oh,
doesn't
absolutely.
care about it's just
Absolutely.
in the moment protecting you. So like
Yeah.
yeah,
And they make you look like a fucking animal in court. They make you look like a fucking a heartless, merciless, fucking just straight up fucking animal. They make you look like a
yeah.
fucking animal.
And
These
and
fucking
maybe you
people,
were in that moment, but it's only because you
yeah.
had to be. Yeah.
Oh,
They
definitely.
don't
You
they
definitely
don't
have to
factor
be.
that in just because
They
they've had a
never been in that
life.
situation in their
Yeah,
life. They've
exactly.
never been in
Yeah.
that. You know why? Because they actually had good parents like me and my wife that actually
Yeah,
picked our
because
kids up
they
from school.
exactly.
You know what I mean? I never
And
had
they
that shit.
genuinely
Never had
can't conceive of what a life outside of that level of comfort could possibly be. It's like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, when you grow up with kids that fucking definitely ain't scared of even grown men as teenagers, like
Mm.
you learn a lot. You learn a lot about when people used to see Rojas Jr., he's like 17 years old. There's like, there's no way you can beat a fucking 25, 28-year-old. I'm like, what? I'm like, I was knocking grown men out at 17 easily, like really easy. Because, but there are levels to fighting, professional fighting and street fighting are a different thing. But here's the thing, I was training to be a pro fighter. I was training with a real trainer. You know what I mean? And I learned a lot from my mentor, and I learned a lot from my friends seeing them fight. You know what I mean? And I was very athletic too, so that doesn't hurt. You know what I mean? It doesn't hurt. That's the reason I went into boxing was so I wouldn't get in so much trouble. So I wouldn't get in so much trouble. Assault batteries or dangerous weapons. Shot put. I got
outlet.
18 of them. It's like ridiculous. Yeah, it is a great outlet. It's good because you kind of get humbled. Not that you're humbled in the ring, but you feel it though. You definitely feel it. Like after 3, 4, 5 rounds, you're tired and you're like, damn.
Yeah, the adrenaline's like dying down. You're starting to feel those hits after a while. That's why
you're starting to get humbled. You're starting to be humbled because you're tired. And I always say this to people. It's not about bodybuilding. Trust me. It's about fucking cardio. Endurance. And it's about staying cool, calm, and collective. Like you had that confidence in the streets. I never had a problem sparring with anybody that was so-called better than me because they have been boxing their whole fucking life or whatever. I already knew I was really good at boxing. So just going in there it was always in my mind. I'm like, I know I'm just, if not better than these guys. And even the trainers would say, Robbie, you hit harder than every guy in this gym. It's just learn how to stay calm. You're too tense. You got too much fucking anger. You know what I mean? They say, go smoke that joint that you're waiting for after. Go smoke it now and then come down and spar. I guarantee you'll be a lot more loosened up, a lot more relaxed. And they were right. They were absolutely right. So I smoked a joint before I went to spar. And it was because no one's in there trying to kill you. You're not trying to kill them. They're definitely trying to like humiliate you a little bit.
Beat you.
I'd be lying.
Beat you, make you submit.
Definitely trying to beat you because you need to put pressure on.
But it's not life or death, and your brain knows that. So it doesn't shut down the cerebral cortex, because if you can fight with that activated, that's you. There you go.
It's like, hey, in prison, a guy wanted to fight me in the ring because he see me hit the bag. After I lift the weights, I hit the bag. I put the wraps on and, the gloves. I grab the gloves from the fucking COs at the cage and just, hit the heavy bag. And the guy wanted to fight me in the ring. This is in 1991. Yeah, it was 1991. And in front of 400 fucking people, right, that were down the gym. It was 5,000 people in the prison, but there's only 500 people at the gym at a time. You know what I mean? I think 500 were upstairs and 500 were downstairs where the weights are and the ping pong balls and the ping pong tables and all the tables people play cards at, the weights, the boxing ring. And then they have a cage. Then they have a cage where the cops sit, you know what I mean, inside a locked cage or whatever the fuck, right? And he wanted to fight me in the ring. And I'm like, all right. I said, let's do it tonight. I told my cellmate, I go, tell your boy tonight. I go, I don't even want someone fucking, I want to do it tonight. I don't want to wait till tomorrow. Tonight. Let's do it tonight. And sure enough, they allowed it to happen because they allowed you to spar in there. You know what I mean? I never seen nobody spar. I was already there a month and a half. I didn't see anyone fucking fighting in there. You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right. I know exactly what's going to happen with this guy. I never seen him training. You know what I mean? I go, after the first round, he's going to come out like this with his hands down. He's going to be so fucking tired, he ain't going to be able to deal with it. And I'm going to hurt him. I'm going to embarrass him. And exactly what the fuck happened. And they shipped me out of there the next morning to the biggest shithole in the system at CCC. It's not even around no more. It was built in the 1800s. No fucking running water in your cell. No fucking, no toilet, no sink, no nothing. You had a little tiny porta potty and 2 fucking half-gallon jugs like this. You fill one with ice and one with water. And that's it. Like no fucking, no running water. No running water. In the doors to the cell, they were single cells, but they were like 4.5 or 5 feet tall. So I actually had to duck under to get into the cell. That's how old school this fucking prison was. They destroyed it fucking, I don't know, I guess 10 years ago, I guess. because it was a
So they
shithole. You know what I
should.
mean?
That thing's straight out of the dark ages by the sounds of it.
Yeah, but I was wondering why did I get, because you usually stay there for 3 to 6 months in Concord to get what's it called? It's called you go in front of like 5 fucking people in front of the fucking Department of Corrections Board. No, it's not parole. They send you to a different prison. You know what I mean? You're gonna go to a medium, a max, or a fucking minimum, or a pre-release. You know what I mean?
Like an assessment panel sort of thing.
Yeah, it's called. I've been out of prison since fucking 96. 2004, I did a 3-month fucking county bid. But I did 2 years, 6 months to serve. So I fucking only did 3 months. I got out on parole. And my parole officer was a parole officer I had for my first state bid, who said, Robbie, just sign the paperwork. He goes, you only got parole for 2 more months and I'm retiring in another month. He goes, I don't want to see them fuck with you. What you did for your business manager was a fucking noble thing. I always knew you were a good dude. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm like, yeah. Thanks a lot, Michael Bush. His name's Michael Bush. Salute to Michael Bush, because everyone told me, if you get Mike Bush, you'll be all set. He even told me, he said, don't pick up no violence, you'll be fine. He said, if you get caught fucking selling drugs or something, or fucking, a non-violent crime, they're just worried about you, like violence-wise. They're not worried about you in society because of fucking smoking pot or sniffing coke or drinking on the weekends. They're not worried about that. They're worried about violence. Like, that's the only thing you got to worry about is violence. He said, I got people on parole for the rest of their life. You got what, 6 months left and you're off parole? So he's like, sign the paperwork. You know what I mean? You're done. He goes, I got to, just don't pick up no more violent crimes. And the next bit I did was selling cocaine to Navy intelligence 2 nights in a row. I sold the guy fucking a 16th of coke 2 nights in a row. And I did an 8-ball with him the first night. So I got a 2.5 Concord for that. I think when I get that 94 when my daughter was born. So I was out on bail to see my daughter born. Thank God, first 6 months of her life. And then I went and did a 2.5 Concord indefinite. That was like and that person who got me that bid, my lawyer is now a judge. You know what I mean? And my prior probation officer, intensive probation, is a judge. And my prior fucking workman comp lawyer is now a judge. You know what I mean? So now all these judges, they're all dear friends of mine. You know what I mean? Like, if I ever had a problem, I call them. You know what I mean? And they would tell me the lawyer to go through. You know what I mean? Yeah. I've actually had to do that. The union thing, I called my the lady who was my fucking lawyer, and she said, I can't take you on because I'm going to become a judge soon. That'd be a conflict of interest. You know what I mean? But I'll send you to the best guy.
Yeah, and, but go to this guy. Yeah.
Yeah, it all worked out. That's why I said $30,000 man. Go get me something I can fucking do, because he said I wasn't gonna do no time at all. But this is before my fucking friend OD'd, my co-defendant, and so someone they wanted a chunk of flesh from somebody, because it's really political here. You know what I mean? Yeah. So no matter what, the fucking DA,
they need to make an example.
Yeah, it's ridiculous too, because it's really the federal judge. When I went to my ex-boss's sentencing, like I just couldn't understand it, all because of a prosecutor's ego is the reason he did time. He got 7 years. Even the judge said, he said, Mr. Bordy, I know you've been sober for 5 fucking years now. You know what I mean? He goes, I know you've done everything by the book. I know, but if I don't make an example out of you, what are all the other business managers going to think? They could just get away with it too. They could send their fucking union members to go take care of their fucking, their physical fucking problems or their fucking whatever, you know what I mean? And right there, I wanted to stand up and say so. I want to say, Your Honor, you know what I mean? If someone sucker punched you right now, would those COs bundle that guy? That's what I wanted to say. But the kid that fucking brought me to the sentencing, he's now the fucking business manager there. Obviously, he had to deal with the fucking feds. He's like, no, stay down. You don't say nothing. I'm like, what do you mean don't fucking say nothing? I'm like, maybe I should listen. You know what I mean? Because I'm just because the fucking, what's it called? Prosecutor goes, Your Honor, one of his muscle just walked in the courtroom now. And I'm like, this lady obviously don't know. I'm not his muscle. The guy's like a
employee. Fucking oh, you mean employee? Yeah.
Yeah, when I walked into the courtroom, she said, Your Honor, by the way, one of his muscles just walked into the courtroom right now. Now there's fucking 100 people in the courtroom. How the fuck do you know who the fuck I am anyways? Why? Because of the newspapers?
Ah, yeah.
Because the newspapers, right? The newspapers had us as bad guys, organized crime, this, that, all kinds of muscle for the union. And then a month later, they're saying, another job well done. Robert George Neal III takes the first piece out of the tunnel boring machine out of Nut Island. So I'm like, 1 month you call me the worst guy on the planet. The next month you're saying a great fucking job. Make up your fucking minds. You know what I mean? But you know what that lawyer, you know what that judge would have said? Yeah, those COs would bundle the guy that sucker punched me. Absolutely. Don't you think? Right? I think, yeah, the COs would definitely end up fucking hurting that dude really bad.
It's
Probably.
what they're there for. Just like it's what you're there for when,
Yeah. It's like 60% of our union at the time, almost 1,500 fucking Sandhogs, 60% of us were fucking ex-cons. You know what I mean? So, because ex-cons are the only ones that are psycho enough to do that type of work in the first fucking place. Mining ain't no easy job. You know what I mean? It's a fucking takes a lot.
Think about if you can survive that slog in prison, you're gonna be hard. You're gonna be good at labor. You're gonna have the mindset to just keep going, like Sisyphus with the rock, but no whinging. You know, like because it's hard, especially anyone who's been in like full ISO or anything like. The mental and intestinal fortitude that you have to get through that and come out relatively unscathed.
23 hours a day. And if you're lucky, you get 45 minutes to an hour out every day to go shower, fucking call your fucking people and go see a couple people that come to see you every day, at your cell. You know what I mean? 23 hours a day. You're right. Some people wrap up their prison beds right from the hole. Right from the hole, you know what I mean? They call it the shoot now. A lot's changed in prison now compared to when I was in there. When I was in there, there wasn't really no racial tensions and shit. There wasn't no fucking. There was politics, you know what I mean? It's just you didn't reach over people's food and shit. You just didn't do that shit. You know what I mean?
Basic.
It's just there's certain things you could do and there's certain things you don't do. You know what I mean? But here's the thing: I definitely wasn't scared of prison because I wasn't scared in juvie. I definitely wasn't scared in the streets. In the streets,
yeah, exactly. If you've got
a
the
lot more
balls
dangerous
to do
in
it
prison.
The streets, if you're not scared on the streets to do that, why are you going to be?
Why the fuck would you be scared in prison?
Yeah, you just don't have freedom, and there's another gang to look out for, the COs. So.
Well, even the COs, it's like same with like ex-convicts or convicts. It's like it's all the way you carry yourself. It's like someone looks at me the fucking wrong way or longer than 5 seconds. Like I'm not turning away. I'm not mentally built like that. In bars, if someone looked at me for more than 5 seconds, I walk up and say, "What are you, a fucking fed or a cop? Why do you keep staring at me, asshole? I don't fucking know you. Why the fuck are you staring at me?" And they're the same way, stubborn. They don't want to turn their fucking eyes, like, because I'm locking in. I'm not looking away until they look away.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way my mind fucking when I was drinking and fucking being at bars. It's like, but it's our neighborhood. Like, so if you don't know somebody from that fucking in that bar, that you fucking, it's in the neighborhood where you grew up your whole fucking life, you kind of know who's gonna be there. If someone's just staring at you, they're not from there. I think you're fucking being an idiot.
You got a fucking eye problem, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people
exactly. Especially if it's your turf.
And say, well, it was so many of us. It's like I had to actually tell a biker that I liked in there. I go, dude, you and your biker boys ain't gonna last in this place. You're gonna say something stupid to one of our girlfriends or something like that, one of our wives, and you guys were power in numbers. I don't give a fuck.
So
like who the
why
fuck
do
you
that
are
in the first place? Like what's
but we fought for these streets our whole life. You guys ever fought for this neighborhood? I don't know what the fuck you guys ever did around here. I never seen you guys in the streets ever fighting, ever. So like what the fuck you guys think you just take over our fucking bar? Well, here's the thing, like we were still teenagers. But here's the thing, when I got out of prison, it's like we actually had to have this talk with a couple bikers because they were really good dudes. It's like, listen, you guys are welcome in here, but you come in with 30 guys and shit, you guys are gonna get hurt. I don't care if you got 30 guys. There's fucking 100 of us in here. Every one of us is willing to pull a fucking gun or just fucking put that gun in your mouth and break all your teeth with it and torture you, literally humiliate you. I'm like, I really don't want that problem because the head guys were wicked good dudes. Still to this day, I think they're fucking still around. Really good dudes. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't want a fucking this to come between us. You know what I mean? So maybe you guys should find another bar because it's not
unless
the
you can
70s. It
guarantee
ain't the
control
70s,
of
80s no
30
more.
drunk
Yeah, it's not
men,
the,
which
yeah, but they can't. They can't.
Exactly.
Because even my friends like would fucking fight over a gun and fucking bullets would go fucking getting shot off and fucking bouncing off the fucking ground. And I'm like, let me see the fucking gun before the fucking, you know what I mean? They're just fucking crazy. You know what I mean? And when
then
people
you
are drinking,
pistol whip them with it for being idiots. Yeah.
oh my God, no. A lot of times you couldn't even tell your friends where your guns were because you have your guns hidden just in case someone comes with a gun. Because not everyone comes to fight fair. You know what I mean? They come to fight with fucking more people, whatever the fuck the case may be. But there was always a fucking jammy close by. But there was certain guys you just couldn't tell them because they would actually pick it up
Go
and use
get
it
it.
for no reason. I'm saying they wouldn't pick
just
it up because
they
someone was
wanted
shooting
to play
you.
with it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, dude, I'm saving you a fucking a 10-year bid at least because you're fucking probably gonna get manslaughter for shooting somebody because those bullets do not discriminate.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and here's the thing: they never even really shot guns before. Like my mentor brought me out to shoot AR-15s. When the Marine Corps guy said, "Oh, we ain't taking," you'll end up fucking hurting a fucking drill instructor or something. I'm like, what? I go, I was fucking shooting AR-15 yesterday. I go, you think I might be a better Marine than you? Is that what the fuck it is? And even my mentor said, that's probably it, Robbie. I go, yeah, whatever. So I kind of let that guy with like an asshole fucking attitude problem. I kind of said, whatever, motherfucker. I go, I thought Marines want like guys that ain't scared of shit. I said, I'll go on the front lines. This is during Kuwait, the Kuwait war with Iraq. I'm like, I'll go on the front lines. Like, you don't even have to put me through boot camp, nothing, pass on, none of it. I'm in great shape right now. Like, just give me, a couple 45s, give me a couple grenades, give me ammo, and give me a good fucking sergeant or a good fucking lieutenant to follow. And you got a Marine right here. I'll do the fucking Paris Island thing too for 3-4 months, whatever the fuck it is. And yeah, you know what? That guy actually sent the thing to the judge because he found out I was out on bail, and because he did a Corey check, whatever, your criminal background, and he's seen all the violence and shit. He said, he wrote to the judge. He said, this kid did try to go to the Marine Corps, just to let you know, while he's been out on bail. So the judge says, since you were so patriotic, Mr. Neal, I go, what? And I couldn't figure out how he knew. I didn't know if my lawyer said something but it wasn't the lawyer. It was the fucking, the guy who fucking, signed you up for the fucking Marine Corps, whatever they're called. Yeah, the recruiter. So he actually did me the judge said 20 years ago, I could have made that happen, but they made these laws. So like my hands are tied. I cannot send you to the Marine Corps. He goes, I could have 20 years, but he said, since you were so patriotic, 20 years, conquered, 2 years of serve, split sentence, no 18 years of parole. Mm-hmm. So instead, it was just, I think I would have did 28 months or something like that, or 31 months or something like that. I ended up doing 15 months and got out on parole and hooked up with that really good parole officer. And yeah, the second one was a wrap up, was 2.5. So I did 2 state bids before I was even 26 years, right when I turned 26, right before I was about to turn 26. So yeah, I was very lucky, man. Like I think like lawyers tell me this too. They're kind of trained to see if someone's going to be a menace to society the rest of their life. They kind of could tell like who's made a mistake or a lapse of judgment or whatever.
Who's just misguided or who's like just
was a product of their environments or whatever. But I have seen a lot of I've seen pedophiles get on fucking personal. They just with no bail, just personal. They're just allowed to go rape another kid. And I sold cocaine 2 nights in a row to a Navy, and they give me $150,000 cash bail. I'm like, something's not fucking right. 3 days later, they brought it down to 1,000, because you go for bail reduction at Superior Court. But that was back in 90 fucking 3.
I'm just gonna say, something's not right. I'm just gonna say, it's because they protect their own.
Yeah, and here's the thing: there's good judges, though. That's the thing. I think there's like a fucking I think there's like a thing, like there's a chain of command and everything. You know what I mean? Like, you know, when they say that's beyond my pay grade or whatever. It's like when Charles Manson was released so many fucking times, like he was working for the CIA. So the CIA called the police station, said, let that guy go right now. You know what I mean? Then you got feds crawling down your back. Let that guy go. They got to let you go. You know what I mean? But no, like, I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, they do protect them, but the people I know that are judges would never protect those people.
Yeah.
They would never protect you because the COs would actually let you go beat them up in county, the old county I was in. They would say, Bobby, that guy's a fucking Skinner over there. Like, you know, he's, you know, at least 10 kids. I'm like, what? I go, you know,
they shouldn't even make it out.
No, they said,
shouldn't
okay.
even
No, they
survive
said, okay.
more than a month. Like, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's it. They said, you know, we're looking this way. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do. No one's going to tell on you because we're not going to listen anyways. We know he's a Skinner. You know what I mean? This is his third time in.
They're not human. Who cares what happens to them?
No,
yeah.
They're not. And that's why I was saying earlier, like people that had that happen to them, they say it's not their fault. They had it happen to them. Hold on a second. What do you mean it's not their fault? Did they feel fucking horrible?
Lots of people have it happen to them and they grow up hating pedos and wanting to kill pedos and that. So don't use that bullshit argument. I hate that. Like,
that's what I would think.
Disgusting.
That's what I would think.
Oh, would it put
that's never happened to me.
That makes it okay then. Let's feel sorry for them.
No, it doesn't. No way.
There you go. Let's put them out of their fucking misery then. What is it?
There's
not
a lot
even
of people,
50 cents for a bullet. There you go. Done.
There's a lot of people around here. There's a lot of people around here that were affected by like you know, what's it called? Priests at the church and shit in the Catholic Church. You know, they were actually
the Lavender Mafia.
Yeah, it's like the fucking, and then they get shipped to the Vatican and they never have to do time.
They all protect each other. They all cover for each other because they're all in it with each other. Not all. I shouldn't say all. Sorry.
No, it's not all of them.
Like, once again, there are amazing people in there.
Yeah.
And they're infiltrating because they're trying to bring that shit down from the inside because that's the only way you can do that.
That's what I said about racist people too. I'm like, are you guys fucking idiots? There's good people in every color. There's shitbags in every single color too. Mm-hmm. In every culture, there's good people, there's bad people. Just the color of your skin does not fucking change the
man.
The thing
there's good and bad in each individual, you know.
Absolutely. But here's the thing, like I say this about fighters. Like I love elite fighters, you know what I mean? Even fighters get civilized. Once they start making a lot of money, they're not as hungry no more. They're not as like, you know, willing to put in that extra training because they're never going to fucking lose. It's their mindset. But once they get, you know, civilized a little bit, I guess, and you start being around a lot of people that are fugazi fucking people, plastic people, they just want to be around you until you lose. Then those people ain't around you no more. You know what I mean? It's like people get sucked in. People get sucked into this shit. It's like this woke shit, right? I'm like, I'm not woke. I'm awake. And one day, I guarantee that shit ain't going to fly. That shit ain't gonna fly no more because in the 70s and 80s and 90s, you'd be offended 1,000 times a day. Like, you wouldn't have no one to cry to about that shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, listen, we're definitely not on here to offend nobody. We're not here to fucking, what's it called? We're definitely, I'm just telling you, I'm telling everybody out there, I don't give a, listen, we all make mistakes in our life. And if you think you're perfect, there's no such thing as, I think God is only perfect and the universe is only perfect. No one can judge you except for a real judge in the court of law. Or God can judge you, or your peers, or whatever the fucking, even your peers can't judge you. Like, I know people that I love more than anything say, Robbie, don't fucking do that. Don't do that. Don't go make a third album. Don't go fucking start this business. It's like, if you listen to all that fucking noise, even though it's coming from people that you love and respect, it's like if you don't take that chance or that risk, there's no reward. There's nothing worse than people that say they're going to do things and then they don't do it. That's called being a procrastinator, right?
Yeah.
No, it's a procrastination, right?
I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, yeah.
And then people have them regrets at the end of their life. It's like, why didn't I try when I was young to do this and that? a lot of older people told me, don't die with regrets ever. Don't ever die with regrets. And I always said to myself young, I say, you know what? Yeah, I might go to jail. I might not, but I'm definitely not scared to go do time. Like, so what? If it happens, it happens. You know what I mean? And hey, so with it, all right, you basically heard my whole fucking thing, right? And I really believe, honestly, when I landed on my head 14 feet, I didn't have this out of body experience, nothing, or God experience. I already believed in God way before. I just don't preach it to nobody because I just it's like people don't want to be preached to. You know what I mean? I don't either. You know what I mean? So it's like these channels where God is. If you don't click on this right now, God won't be with you. I'm like, what? Dude, you're not God. God
That's
ain't making
not
no
how
fucking
he
YouTube
works.
channel.
Yeah.
God ain't making no YouTube channels. I'm like, come on, man,
Yeah.
stop. They got these other channels talking about like fighters. Oh, it's really sad to see this fighter living this way. I'm like, I just seen him last week. He was really happy. They were talking about Roberto Duran. We're talking about Larry Holmes. I'm like, they all did the right thing with their fucking money. Duran, I seen him like 2 fucking weeks ago or a month ago with Turkey Al Sheik and all these fucking trillionaires. Like he has a big smile on his face. You know what I mean? Like, and they actually tell lies about fucking, pro fighters and shit. Even like fucking Shaquille O'Neal they had on there today, like oh, he's a fucking gang member. He's a gang member. Like people talk shit about like people the shorts I make like with music and shit, and like someone will leave a stupid comment like you actually like you actually promoting this. I'm like, well, if you grew up where we grew up, if there's people trying to kill you 2 streets over, you better kill them first. Obviously, you were built with a fucking born with a silver spoon in your mouth, or never fucking grew up in a fucking bad fucking neighborhood, or whatever the fuck. You were never a product of your environment, and good for you, but you can never understand it because you never grew up in that shit.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think I was so comfortable with chaos because in the womb I was around chaos. My mother around my father, who used to beat the shit out of my mother and shit when she was pregnant and shit, and all kinds of other shit. Even horrific shit. And that's why my mother left my fucking father. So like it's like I was probably adapted to that shit already in the womb. I probably fucking heard that shit probably, but I don't remember obviously. But yeah, when I always say comfortable in chaos in the womb, I really believe it's true. If you're a baby in your mother's stomach, right, and she's going through hell, I think through that umbilical cord you're going through it too, and you just don't realize it. You know what I mean? I don't know. What do you think about that? You think that's fucking real, or do you think that's
it is
just
real, mate.
pseudoscience?
Yeah,
think
no,
so?
it is real because even physiologically, like when you're in a state of distress, you're creating them oh god, not like
You're right.
endorphins,
Yeah,
whatever it
you're right.
is. It's just
Certain
escaping me
cells.
what it is, and
Yeah.
that stuff
No,
breaks
I know
you
what
down. Yeah, it's the opposite of like the good stuff. Like, so it's like breaking you down. It's poison. If it builds up too much and you don't release it, it creates a buildup of toxins in your body. Those toxins get passed through the umbilical cord to the baby. So if a mother or an expectant mother is in an extreme state of distress and she's got all of those fight, flight, fear hormones racing around, the baby is experiencing that physiologically. So whether or not people want to argue about the energy of it, the emotion of it, physiologically, that baby is experiencing that exact same distress and level of physical like poison and toxins as the mother is. So yeah, that it baffles me that a man would ever put their hands, or anyone would ever hurt a pregnant woman anyway, let alone someone who's pregnant with their child, and then profess to be a good father and all of that garbage. That's been my personal experience. I went through all that every single one of my pregnancies, mate. Like, what are the odds of that? Every single one I experienced physical violence, and I always thought that
horrible.
because I did have a loss during one of those pregnancies, and I spoke about it with the doctors, and they're like, the level of stress you are under, like it's just it definitely. See, you put a mother under enough stress. That's why everyone's like, oh, if you're pregnant, try to rest, don't stress out, don't be, because it can contribute to loss. It can contribute to all sorts of issues in the development of the baby, and then sometimes you just like, it might not, like the baby might still come out all right, the baby might go through it and like be all right on the other side, but there's definitely been some effect, do you know what I mean? But like as we grow,
it's important for the man, like if the man's there, I mean, it's important. I seen my wife go through 38 hours of labor with our daughter, and then my son was they did a C-section after like 6 hours because she didn't want to go through 38 hours of labor again.
Yeah, oh my God, I bet.
That's, and it's 10 years later too. We didn't even, this is 2 years after this. Like this happened April 2003, and my son was born April 2005. So it's kind of weird how my life was spared, and then we had another kid. You know what I mean? Like 10 years difference from my daughter. You know what I mean? It's like, I think it's important, man. Like and not only that, my wife, like just seeing a woman go through that is it'll give you a whole different perspective on life, and especially if you have a daughter. If you have a daughter, like it's hard to explain as a man. It's hard to explain when you have your little girl. You know what I mean? I tell people all the time, enjoy these years. You've heard me say it, right? Enjoy these years with these kids, because when they're 18, you got to let them go be adults. You can't stop them. It's the law. You know what I mean? And I kind of knew my daughter was going to fail in the beginning, but she's came back and lived with us for another 3-4 years, and she's back on her own, killing it in life. So,
well, they don't make it easy out there these days, especially if you want to be like solo. Like for 18, like when we were 18, it's like, oh yeah, full-time job, got a house, got a car. I even had a bike as well then. Like I had a car and a bike. Now I watch my kids leave the nest, and they've really got to make sure they've got like built up a foundation first. They're good to go. They're the way the credit rating.
We didn't want to listen to our parents or people telling us when we were 18, 19, 20, 21 years old. We didn't want to listen to anything.
You know everything.
I know I didn't.
You already know everything when you're 18, man.
Like I said, I was 13, 14, 15, like going to drop off coke with people that you would never think you in a million years would be partying. Like I'd go to these parties, see people that I would never think in a million years would be partying. You know what I mean? It's like really who you know. You know what I mean? It's like keeping your mouth shut, obviously, and not putting them out there. And I'm not going to put them out there, even though they're not even like running. These guys like ran the fucking, the county jails and the COs you'd see. Like you knew them from the neighborhood. You see, I know I'm going to see you in a bar sometime. You better not get cute with me in there, asshole. You know what I mean? Because I am going to run into you on the streets. Like I'm not doing life. You know what I mean? I know. You know what I mean? I didn't. Like people go in for, you're going to get 30 years for this. And I already know the system since Julie. You know what I mean? I already understand it all. Like, it's like you know what the guidelines are. You know what I mean? And what the time is. But that school zone shit, it's like, and where I live, every place is a school zone. Every place you're 1,000 feet from a fucking school, no matter where you are. I was in a bar on St. Patty's Day. They got me for the school zone inside a bar on St. Patty's Day when the school's not even open. So how the fuck am I selling to kids? I'm in a fucking bar with grown people. You know what I mean? On St. Patrick's Day, like they actually put the school zone in there. It's like that fucking law, man. It's like, if you're fucking standing on front of a school,
how do people illegally drink in there then in a school zone? Like that's an interesting how do they explain that? Like,
that's more dangerous.
Bureaucracy and law.
That's a lot more dangerous. People driving fucking drunk where kids are walking and shit. I don't know, man.
It's dangerous because a lot more people have access to it too. I think it's so readily.
Did you guys ever?
legal,
You guys skid off cars in Australia? You guys get on the back of bumpers when the snow's on the ground and ride the back of their car, like as fast as they're going.
In snow, we don't really have that so much. Yeah. It's not really an issue here. But like in fog,
we used to do that in the 70s. In the 70s, we were doing that as single-digit-year-old kids. Like, that's how fucking crazy fucking us kids were around here. I don't know. I thought everyone did that shit. I guess I think we're just psycho in America, honestly.
Yeah.
I really think we're fucking... I really do. Our parents are like, our aunts, uncles, or whatever mothers would be like, go outside, children would be seen, not heard. Go fucking use your imagination.
Yeah.
Oh, bullshit.
You cut yourself open, you'd have to rub some dirt in it and get up and shut up, stop whinging and go back out there. Yeah.
You ever get soap in the mouth for saying a bad fucking word?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
These kids have no idea. I used to give my kids timeouts. Yeah, I gave my kids timeouts 3 times each. Like, that's it. When they were young kids, that's it. That's like, I'm fucking so blessed. I had good kids, you know what I mean? But yeah, I couldn't even imagine hurting my kids. Like, they just, I'm just like, you did wrong, right?
I spank mine occasionally. It's not my go-to, but like
after
there's
nothing wrong.
Warnings, single parent, I'm outnumbered, man. Sometimes I have to use physical force.
Yeah.
If it comes to like danger or something, like, if it's dangerous, I'm not like just a tyrant or anything.
Yeah, slapping a kid on the ass ain't gonna hurt
the bottom,
them.
only on the bottom, like never the head. That's disgraceful.
Not the head, not
exactly,
the head. Yeah. So I guess my father used to like.
You've heard me going off at my kids, so you get the dynamic and how we speak to them, and that.
Well,
it's
that's
kind of like tongue-in-cheek humor as well.
With my kids, it was like, if they said something wrong to their mother or something, like trying to be cute or an asshole. It's like, you don't talk to your mother that way. You don't see me talking to your mother that way. Like, yeah, we do. I'm like, well, you're right. Yeah. I've said that to your mother before, but I'm an adult. You're a little fucking kid. So until you're an adult, you live by our rules. You know what I mean?
And it was very really. Hey.
Well, my kids were always honestly.
Always got a wise ass comeback.
my kids were always honestly. My kids, I can honestly, they have the best mother in the world, and they're, the father has to be the asshole. You know what I mean? So it's like I would have to be the disciplinarian. You know what I mean? But
that's what I hate. I've got to be bad cop all the time. I don't get to be good cop. Like.
But it's just the way it is. That's the way it works, though. You know what I mean? The mother is always the mother. The mother's always going to be revered, and the mother deserves that, because the mother, honestly, like I don't know, like being a good mother is like I've seen that through my wife. I've seen it through her mother. I've seen even my mother be a good mother to me and my brother and sister. You know what I mean? With no fucking man there to help. You know what I mean? So I respect any woman that is a good mother to their kids without their father. But even the ones that have a father, it's a hard job being a mother. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. That's hard. And then you got to deal with knuckleheads like me. You know what I mean? So my wife don't got to deal with just our kids, like, even though they're all grown up now, except for my son. Well, he's 20. But like at that age, you got to enjoy those years with your kids, people. I'm telling you right now, because they become 18 really fucking quick. And like my daughter, I'm like, yeah, we left your room the same way it was because we knew you were going to come back, and we don't want you ever to have to worry about, not, saying you were fucking wrong and we were right. But she never said we were right. Of course not. She's too fucking stubborn. She's 10 times stubborn than me and her mother, and we're really stubborn. So that makes her probably the most stubborn person on the fucking planet, because I'm really stubborn. My wife, I know this to the men out there. You're never going to win a fight with a woman. Never. In a million years. Never. They're always going to have the last word, because that's what they want. They always want to have the last word. Then they feel, even if they know you're right and they're wrong, most of the time it's us fucking idiot men. But honestly, like, I can honestly walk away from my wife, and even the stupidest shit we'll argue over. Still to this day, after 33 years, well, I'll say I'm sorry to her. I was wrong. And it's really, that's all it takes for a man to like admit, like, you're a fucking knucklehead. I've definitely been a knucklehead in my life. I used to leave for 2 days, and my wife would fucking be out looking for me with a machete. She's gonna fucking kill me. You know what I mean? Like literally. I'm like, I used to say this to people. I fear God's wrath and fucking my wife. That's about it. My wife's so smart. She knows where the fuck I am. Like even if I tried to be slick, she'd still fucking find me. You know what I mean? And
Sniff you out.
I swear to God, man. Like I definitely, the good women out there in the world. I know they're not everywhere, obviously, but there's not good men everywhere either. You know what I mean? So it's not a male or female thing. You know what I mean? Male chauvinist shit. It's like when guys are like giving a woman a hard time online and shit. It's like, yeah, probably because you never had a woman, you never had a good woman in your life. You know what I mean?
We know what they say: weak men are threatened by strong women. So like, it's the strong guys that can rock with us. You know, that's how you can tell who's a real man and who isn't.
Behind every good man, a good man needs a good woman to make them even a better man. That's really true. Like I've seen that so many times. Behind every really good man is a better woman. I believe that's really true too. I really believe that's really true. I think my wife, I don't think I could ever pay my wife back for all the shit she's taught me in life. No bullshit. Like I'm talking about just being patient and being, I don't know. I've always been empathetic. I feel bad for people. Certain people definitely feel bad for people because I know the human condition. I know it's not everyone's fault. You know what I mean? Like if people make mistakes and, end up in prison or whatever the fuck, right? Then I see it with my friends, like, they had great mothers and fathers, but once their mother and father died, they fell apart. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't think their parents would have wanted that. You know what I mean? So it's like, yes, seeing your friends die and shit. Let me ask you something. Those 10 years, like, that's going to be the toughest thing. Listen, we can get into that Tuesday, right? But you don't have to get into that now. But I think we should talk about that Tuesday because I want people out there like the methadone miles and shit that we have in every city here in America. I want people to fucking maybe, I'm sure people will hear this down the road. You know what I mean? But, the more people that hear it and that there is a life to live, even though you're fucking, stuck on the streets or whatever the fuck it is, right? Homeless, with drug addiction, whatever the fuck it is, right? But definitely battered women and shit that are still going to be stronger than that man could ever fucking be. The man that beat the shit out of him, and the man never fucking did anything for the kids or the woman. You know what I mean? I think that's one of the hottest thing a woman could ever fucking go through in their life. But here's the funny weird thing about it: the woman, I would put the money on over the man. Honestly, if they're that weak of minded men, like not to feel bad at least or have empathy, what they did wrong. If they said they're sorry, it would be
No, even better. They make themselves the victim in the situation. They beat their wife and kids. The wife and kids.
So my uncles told me this shit. My uncles told me this shit that didn't get along with my father no more. They say, Robbie, when you were a kid, like when your mother left with you and shit, he would always say to everyone, you guys are well taken care of through him and shit. He never sent my mother nothing, never sent me nothing ever. So like, it's funny how men will play the victim. You're right. They will play the victim fucking card and all that shit. And like, when I was talking to him once in a while and shit, the last time I talked to him, he said he had Parkinson's disease. I'm like, so what am I supposed to feel bad? Like my whole fucking life of anger is because of you. It's not because of my mother. It's because of you. You know what I mean? I really think that it's probably at least 75% of it. You know what I mean? I would say, 75, 80% of it. I really think it, don't get me wrong. A woman can definitely raise kids and do it the right way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And we can change that around too. It's not even necessarily like the man being the abuser. Any gender can be the abuser, and they will say the victim, that they're the victim, and that's for like narcissism and things like that. So
that can happen too.
Yeah, absolutely. Just we're talking statistically, or we're generalizing.
Yeah, it's right. Numbers don't lie.
Acknowledge that there's a lot of I guess males don't like to use the word victim or say that they're the victim because, like, technically you can be a victim and you can be angry about that, but you don't have to, like, you don't have to be a martyr about it, because you only end up
No.
hurting yourself wallowing in that mindset. You can't advance, you can't go anywhere. You can't go on to then go through being a survivor and then thriving, So
You're
it's
right.
a
You
step
gotta
in the
you gotta
journey for a
admit it.
lot of
You're
people,
right.
but yeah,
You gotta admit your faults. You're right. You gotta admit your faults as a man or a woman. You gotta admit your faults. It's like
you
don't
can't
look down
grow.
on a yeah. I really believe people sometimes need second and third chances, like and
Yeah.
fourth chances. No
Yeah,
bullshit. There's some good
of
people out there.
course. It's not
There's
going to
some
be,
good
all
people
right,
out
I've
there.
made the decision, bang. Like, that's not how it works. For some people, it does. But for
Fuck
most
no.
people, even like things with addiction and
Baby
that,
steps.
it
Baby
can take
steps.
you
It's
a
all baby steps.
while. Yeah, it can take you
Yeah.
a while to create a new habit. You're going up against a lifetime of learned behavior that's like ingrained. So, yeah.
23. I got since 2001. I haven't had a hangover from booze or cocaine. In 7 years, what is it? April, May, June. So seven years and 3 months. I've been off. You okay? Oh, God bless you. Oh, God bless you. Anyways, yeah. So and don't even have an urge. Like, don't even have an urge. Like, you couldn't pay me enough money to even do that ever again. Like I get called all the
You
time. Come on,
passed
have a
it.
couple
Yeah.
beers. Like, yeah, I'm just like, nah, I'm good. Why do you guys tell war stories about fucking that you guys weren't even part of? You gonna tell my story? I don't want to hear my story. I don't want to hear that shit. Like, I've already talked about that shit at nauseum. I don't want to talk about it ever again.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: I will tell the stories if it helps somebody. You know what I mean? Get better. You know what I mean? If it helps them, like, say, wow, well, I guess you can come back from this shit. You can make mistakes as a young person. Even later in life, you can make mistakes and learn from it. You know what I mean? I think it's important to fucking for people to understand that, man. Hey, what's up, Crystal Miller? Oh, talk about another crazy fucking savage. That's a farmer. Wow, a smart kid. I like it. Oh boy, I popped in just the right part of the. Actually, it was the whole conversation. So you might want to go back and listen. Crystal, she's good people. Crystal, say hello to Crazy. Say hello to Crystal. I mean, you Sellies, Big Ank MMA, thank you all years, and all the people that went in earlier when I mess up. Ant, my man, and all the people that have been in here. How long have we been going for? Oh, I got it. All right. Listen, so Tuesday we'll pick up on that. Homeless, I think that homeless thing for 10 years, that's fucking gonna be hard for you to talk about. I don't want to put you on the spot right now. I think fucking because I'm gonna listen. I have no problem saying the shit. I have no problem saying the shit that I'm gonna say. Even there's a lot more shit I could fucking say too. So if people think fucking that's it, there's a lot. Those are just little fucking parts of our life, but there's so many other parts of those parts. You know what I mean? So listen, what we want to do is really, what do we want to do is just try to help people open up about shit and stop fucking worrying about what fucking people think of you, because they can't judge you. No one can judge you except for God and a judge, a real judge in the court of law. Even them, sometimes they're fucking wrong. You know what I mean? If you don't believe in God, you don't have to believe in God. But one thing's true about every religion: Jesus is in every single religion. So, and things like that. But thank you for joining me today. I appreciate it. I know we said we were going to do this for a while, but listen.
Yeah, we got there.
We got there, right? And I think, over time, I think it'll help a lot of people out there. You know what I mean? I think, like, we should use these platforms for good. You know what I mean? I really do. People want to get drama, talk about drama all the time. I don't want a drama in my life. Like, the third song I wrote on my third album was the hook was no drama, save it for your mama. You know what I mean? I don't want drama, because I'll give you worse than drama. You know what I mean? I'll give you a fucking house storm. I don't even want to fucking hurt nobody ever. You know what I mean? And that's all I ever wanted to do was hurt people. I just wanted to embarrass them, like, because they were trying to, you know what I mean? So my whole life as a kid was being competitive in sports and beating the older kids and fighting, you know what I mean? Because that's what you see. You see got respect as a kid growing up. So yeah, it'll only bring you so far in life. Sometimes you got to be humble and nice. You got to kill them with kindness. You know what I mean? Honestly, being kind is, I guess, is the best way to be. I've learned that through my kids and my wife and real love. You know what I mean? When you really love somebody and care about your kids and your wife, you know what I mean? No matter what, like you just hope nothing ever happens. You know what I mean? Because I think we all wake up blessed every day. I'm pretty sure. You know what I mean? Even if life's tough, it's like you're gonna get through it somehow. You know what I mean? It's just like a mentality you need to have. You know what I mean? And over time, God will never give you more than you can handle. You know what I mean? I think some people got to understand that. Like God needs warriors too, and all our countries need, good fucking people that put a good message out there. There's nothing to be ashamed of if you fucking went through craziness or chaos in your life or fucking had fucking childhood traumas or head traumas. Like I want fighters to come in here and say the shit they got to deal with too every day. Headaches and fucking egos and all that shit that makes them erratic and shit. Even people that are fucking, there's so many people fucking suffering with this shit all the time. I hear it all the time. And I don't see no one ever doing nothing about it. Except for a few people, maybe. You know what I mean? They bring up mental health and they say how real it is. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe that's something you could do with people, and you could probably do a lot of good. You know what I mean? And it's all about trying to fucking better people's fucking lives out there. I think it's really important to do. Not only that, doing this from across the world. You're 16 hours ahead of me somewhere in fucking Eastern Australia. It's like my friend Kiwi out there. Like, it's amazing. You're 16 hours ahead, but you know what? Honestly, teamwork always makes the dream work. It's really true. And to make good things happen, you gotta team up. Right? Am I right? One person can't do it all. You know what I mean? I don't want to be the center of attention either. Anyways, I like to have like as many people as we can and have people on and people that are willing to fucking not give a fuck about what people think. And I know we know a lot of people like that. Between, who you follow and who I follow, we kind of follow a lot of the same people. You know what I mean? So we know people that have no problem coming on here and saying they were knuckleheads and they fucked up in life. But obviously, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And they're all doing good now. You know what I mean? I've been doing good for a long time. So, it's easy to do. You know what I mean? It's not as hard as people think. It really isn't. But Tuesday, is Tuesday all right for you? Thursday,
Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, I think we were saying, and then you're gonna do your Friday fights as well.
I'm still doing fights. Yeah, I'm still doing fights and epic music and all that shit and other shit. Definitely gotta do other shit. You know what I mean? But I think it's important to fucking just try to help people. Like if you watch that guy that was on Joe Rogan like last week, what he said people need to fucking have some courage and use the internet for good things. You know what I mean? Use it for uplifting people and show people have faith in your life and get strong and get mentally fucking dialed in. And even if I got all kinds of injuries and I'm in pain every day of my life. But listen, I'm not gonna sit here and complain about it. I can definitely relate to people who are in pain. I get it. It sucks. You know what I mean? But people don't want to hear it all day. They don't want to hear the victim mentality all day.
Yeah, and exactly.
Even though they are victims, they really are victims.
Yeah, exactly.
But they don't want you to look at them like that. They want you to look at them like, yeah, fuck that. I was a victim, but now I'm fucking ahead of the person who victimized me. I'm way ahead of them. Mm-hmm. So success is the best revenge, in my opinion. Unless you want to go do 10 fucking years or 20 years for killing somebody. Someone fucked with my wife and kids, I'd definitely go do 10 years without even picking them twice. You know what I mean? So honestly, I know a lot of men say that, but the first thing the people that said defund the police would be the first ones calling them. No bullshit. We all fucking know it. We all fucking know it. Talman, what's up, buddy? Oh, wow. The person, be kind is probably I hate drama.
Exactly. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. See, 100%. We all have the same mindsets. Talman, my man. All he is. All right. Thanks for all he is for jumping in there. Hey, listen, share this shit, right? Because we're trying to fucking help people out there. I think it's a smart thing to do. And see all the people, they're all saying the truth. They're all saying the same thing. There's people who pretend that they are happy and don't speak out about their issues. Exactly. Look at,
Mhm.
yeah, there's a lot of confused people out there who need mental help. Absolutely, man.
Mhm.
I'm not saying I'm not a counselor or nothing. I'm just saying, like, there's a way. Believe me, you put your mind to anything, you could do. You look, this is a good combo. Like, 100% glad I joined.
It's because
See,
it's a human thing. Everybody goes through it.
it is a human thing.
It's because
See,
it's the
like,
human experience. It's something everybody can relate to.
it's the human condition. Yeah, it's the human condition. We all go. Palman has a head injury. He had a head injury because he liked rice rockets like I like too. He ran into a wall with his bike, like fucking. But he gets up every morning and fucking goes for walks, hikes, like fucking miles and miles and miles. Like he's not giving up in his life. You know what I mean? Like you're not giving up. Crystal hasn't given up in her life. She's had her health problems for the past fucking year or two, and she's a farmer. Her and her husband run a farm and shit in North Dakota. Like I never see Ant. I know this dude Ant right here. He's fucking never given up in his life. I know most of you sillies and Big Ank MMA. I know a lot of these people in there have never given up in their life. What's his name in there too earlier? No Chill MMA. Another one never gave up in his life. Ain't scared. That's crazy from Australia. She's 16 hours ahead. She's lives near Kiwi, in that same region, the eastern part of Australia. Yeah, you probably I think you've met before. I think you guys met last time.
Yeah, just in the chat though. I was in the
Yeah,
chat last live.
in the
Yeah,
Savage Room. In the Savage Room.
when his friend
No, no. Look at this. Look at
when his
this.
friend came and did the raid. Oh.
Yeah. For a broken vertebrae. Yeah. She had a broken vertebrae. Like I know every disc is going a different direction in my spine. Like people complain about two slip. I know it's very painful. Even a slip disc is really painful. But learn to deal with the pain. And just like honestly, because it could get a lot worse if you allow them to cut your back open or your knees open. I always hear horror stories. You know what I mean? So I just I'll wait for stem cells or something. You know what I mean? It actually fucking works. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, that's pretty
yeah. See,
interesting stuff. Yeah.
yeah. See, yeah. I know it. But anyways, thank you for joining today. I appreciate it. We'll
Yes, mate.
yeah, so we'll figure this out. Tuesday is around the same time. All right. Well, I think that works for you. If it doesn't work for you, just tell me and we'll fucking we'll fix it.
Yeah, no worries.
There's
No
always ways
problem.
to use
Yeah,
ingenuity.
we
You know what
can
I mean?
tweak it. It's all good.
Yeah.
We ended up with a little extra guest anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, I said.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And we will have guests on, like people that are fighting the good fight and putting positive content out there every day. A lot of people are doing good things, and a lot of people
Yep.
are benefiting from it. So to
Just
see
everyday
positive
people helping each other.
energy, yeah, and putting that positive energy out there, it seems like everyone's positive from it. It's a good thing to do. I can't see anything bad in it, man. Like it's better than sitting on social media all day arguing with people about fucking this and that, and you're a racist, and you're a this, and you're a that, and this and that, all this bullshit. Like, stop,
Boring.
man. Yeah, boring. Exactly. But thank you, everybody. Thank you, Crazy. I appreciate you. You're a fucking,
No
you're a
problem.
trooper. You're a
Thank you,
survivor.
Bobby.
Just like all the people in there are all survivors
Everybody in
too.
the
I see a
Savage.
lot of them. Yeah, it's amazing, man. It's amazing because a lot of those people ain't scared to speak the truth either. So it's good. And what the people, the local people around here, we'll get them to fucking come on too. You know what I mean? We'll have a lot of people, doctors, fucking physicists. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. And then we'll get some people to come on here that were fucked over by the system. And like my ex-business manager, other people, we'll get them on here too. And we'll get them on here because they'll tell you the fucking truth. You know what I mean? They ain't scared to speak their mind. I don't know if they're scared or they're not yet. I know a few of them are still scared. But one of these days, you're going to have to not be scared no more because if you're not doing nothing bad, you have nothing to worry about. If If you're not doing nothing illegal, you have nothing to worry about. Listen, trust me, there's always a weak link. There's always a weak link in a criminal fucking. There's always someone that's going to fucking tell. So you're better off not doing that shit. I just want to leave with that, honestly. And if you are doing it, make sure you can handle, the consequences, because there's nothing worse than being not loyal and not having self-respect for yourself, because everyone is meant here for a reason, and it's here to do good for people. I think that's the best thing you can do, is try to be kind and try to reach out to people out there in the world and say, hey, fucking, I went through that same shit, and it's not how you have to live. I say it about my brother all the time. I told him all the time, you're too good of a kid to live this type of life. And I said, I lost a lot tougher people than you. You know what I mean? And he still don't listen. So when he's ready to quit, he'll quit. You know what I mean? I hope I don't lose him before he quits. You know what I mean? And other people too, not just my brother. A lot of people out there in the world. You know what I mean? I just hope people could find a trajectory and a lane and just, fucking do it daily, or do it fucking 3-5 days a week, and try to help people out there. I think it's a noble thing to do. You know what I mean? No matter female, male, you know what I mean? Whatever, you know what I mean? It's proven, you know what I mean? We're not putting misinformation out there. It's all true. You know what I mean? But anyways, have a blessed day. You have a blessed day. I'm going to have a blessed night. And all the people in there have a blessed day, blessed night. And I'll see you Tuesday, crazy. Tomorrow.
See you later, everybody.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate
Thank you.
Share this, share this, and share it, because people need to hear this shit. You know what I mean? They really do. Over time,
just getting started.
Yeah, I was like, it's gonna take time. It's a learning curve, and really, fucking to really help people. You know what I mean? Once we start helping people, then it'll all be worth it. You know what I mean? It's a good thing. You know what I mean? But I'll talk to you tomorrow. Calvin, good to see you, brother. Thank you, dude. All you people in the Savage Room. Nothing but love. One love to everybody. We're all connected. Australia, have a blessed day. All right. Crazy. All right, we got it.